Welcome, everybody, to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today, and this week sees the many multiverses converge in everything, everywhere, all at once, hitting the store shelves along with the period piece romantic drama Downton Abbey, A New Era. Liam Neeson is trying to kick more ass in memory. A little bit of 4K upgrade law with the highly underrated Tom Cruise flick Edge of Tomorrow. And Criterion is releasing a special 4K edition of the Bong Joon-ho sci-fi drama Okja. Plus much, much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we are at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. All right, everybody, we are in at Walmart. God, this is pitiful. There's no other way to say it, man. This is just downright depressing as a motherfucker. God, it really is. Look at this, man. Seriously? Dude, this is the afternoon. They have nothing whatsoever. No new shit at all, man. Look how empty this is. This is like Mother's Hubbard's covered like a motherfucker. Seriously. Fucking hell, man. I mean, they have the Secrets of Dumbledore, okay, great, but what about everything else? What about everything, everywhere, all at once? I mean, there is supposed to be a Walmart exclusive. Bueller? I mean, Jesus Christ. Where the hell did it go, man? I don't know, did somebody like David Copperfield this shit? I mean, seriously. I mean, even over here, there's no memory, there's no Downton Abbey A New Era. There's supposed to be a Walmart exclusive for that. That's nowhere to be found as well. Jeez, but, you know, hey, let's go out of our way to stock Firestarter because, you know, everybody's gonna be buying that shit. Yeah, right. Oh, my God. Seriously, oh hey, they still got exclusives for Morbius. So I know you were disappointed about Downton Abbey and everything everywhere all at once, but hey, at least they have the Morbius love, right? Fucking hell, man. Jesus Christ. God, this is just really downright just shameful, man. God damn it, it is. You know, sometimes Walmart comes through, and other times this happens. Man, no wonder I get headaches from this fucking place. Good God. Let's head out. Seriously, I don't know whether to laugh or to cry, man. Or just curl up in a fucking ball and just like rock myself. Because I'm like, this is terrible. This is really rough, man. Damn, dude. They don't have any, and I mean any of the new release love whatsoever. Nothing. Nothing new at all. No exclusives. It is so empty over there. I mean, you're wondering why you don't sell as much shit as you might be otherwise? Well, hello. I mean, damn, man. That is really bad. Seriously. Dude. I don't know anymore with Walmart. Seriously, 1 week is gold. It's fantastic. It's awesome. There's so much to show up. And then other weeks, it's literally like that, where it is so bad that I don't even know how to describe it other than to feel shame and disappointment. And that's what I'm feeling, man. That is so bad. Incredibly bad. So, I don't know, man. I don't know anymore, dude. All I know is that it is what it is. So, yeah. I'm just gonna go with the flow every single week. So hey, 1 week is great, 1 week is shit. Maybe next week will be plentiful, maybe, but I'm not making any bets, okay? I am not even wishing upon a star, because I know that shit does not come true. Alright? That definitely does not come true, especially when it comes to this goddamn place. So I suppose next week we'll see all of the exclusives and the new release love from this week. Yes, that's what they do, yeah. So that we'll see it next week, unfortunately. But as far as this week, yeah, there is jack shit. Of course there is. Good old Walmart. You gotta love it. And I definitely do. No, not really. I really don't. Oh, man. Well, I know there's new release love out there. Not like Walmart's carrying jack shit, but hopefully we'll go and see if there's any new release love at other stores. Let's hope to fucking God. All right, everybody, we are at our next location, which isn't Target. Okay, so look, that first Walmart, man, ooh, it is really pissing me off like a mofo. It honestly is, man. And so I was so pissed. I can't believe we didn't get any kind of physical media love there. Seriously, nothing. What? It just blows my mind, dude. And so I still want to see if there's any Walmart new release goodness. And since we can't get it at the first Walmart, I figured why not go to a different Walmart that we have never been to? Well, I've been to this Walmart before, but not actually on camera. So, well, how about we go in and dive into hopefully a more reliable Walmart? Well, let's hope. When, yes, we head into our next location. Ah, yes, yet another Walmart to dive into. And if you're wondering, yeah, that is a horse. We are close to Amish country, folks. Yeah. This will be a good one. Let's hope that there's some new release love here that's worth diving into. Some Walmart has to have new release love, right? All right, everybody, we are in at yet another Walmart, and look, yes, not every Walmart is completely useless. There happens to be one that has some good physical media love. Jeez, finally. Thank the Lord, baby. Thank the physical media gods is more like it. Let's dive in, shall we, with a little bit of multiverse dimensional love. Oh, yes, with everything, everywhere, all at once, baby. The DVD for $17.96, the Blu-ray digital for $19.96. Ooh, I like that cover, man. Not half bad, very tasty indeed. And oh, even that good old Walmart exclusive. Look at that, the 4K Blu-ray digital for $24.96. And I heard about this exclusive, man. This actually is really cool, because this is cool artwork, don't get me wrong, but there's something about this that just stands out. It looks so friggin' cool, man, with all the googly eyes and everything. Oh, that is so awesome, man. Look at that. Woo, baby, that is a beauty, man. Look at that. Oh, that is so sweet, man. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty goddamn tasty. Oh, indeed it is. Oh, that is sweet, man. That is so sweet. Oh, indeed it is. Very, very nice, man. I gotta tell you, man, Walmart has been killing it with the exclusives as of late. Some like exclusive slipcover love and some really huge, gigantic exclusives that they've had recently. My goodness, dude. They're killing it as of late. Man, can't say they always do it, but man, when they definitely got their game on, damn, do they do an excellent job. And this is yet another one of them. Woo! Pretty damn sweet, baby. Not gonna lie. Just like the movie. Oh, yes. I got a chance to watch this thing on Amazon Prime, and I gotta tell you, after watching it, I feel like such a goddamn schmuck that I didn't watch it in the movie theaters. I wanted to, but I just never got around to it, and I had heard so many wonderful things about the film. People really dug it. They thought, man, this thing is just a wild and crazy experience. Has to be seen to be believed, and you wanna know what? They ain't wrong, man. Basically, the movie is about Evelyn, played by Michelle Yeoh, and she's an immigrant mom and wife, and she owns this laundromat with her husband, and she has a lot of issues with her taxes, and her daughter doesn't really like her all that much. She's having issues with her husband, and God, the tax lady is just up her fucking ass. Oh man, in a great role by Jamie Lee by the way. Goddamn, she kills this. And suddenly she gets this message from her husband, but it's not really her husband exactly. It's like an alpha alternate universe version that basically says that she is the savior and she can save all of mankind. And we are off and running, man. And damn, does it go in some wild and bizarre and ridiculous places. And I loved every goddamn fucking second of it. I am so serious. Oh my lord, dude. This movie was an experience that I was on like this biggest roller coaster ride, and after it was done, I wanted to get right back on. Seriously. It was that damn good, dude. My God, man. All the different alternate versions, the wild, crazy fight sequences, the weird ways you get into the multiverse to get your powers. You have to do these weird and crazy, ridiculous things. And some of the stuff that they do in this movie, man, I'm like, wow, who came up with that shit? Man, I got a wild imagination, man, but dude, they came up with some crazy shit. They really did. And I was just mesmerized every single second. And I gotta give it up to the actors. Whether it's Jamie Lee or Michelle Yeoh, anybody else in the cast, they were absolutely phenomenal with this film, and they made it worth it because they're not playing it for laughs. They're deadly serious about this. It's high stakes, it's life or death, end of the world type scenarios, and yet they're having fun with it as well and sort of playing it like sort of fish out of water. And I think that's a great way to do it, man, is to play it in a serious way, but yet do it in a sort of wink, wink, nod, nod type of behavior where like, yeah, we know it's ridiculous and crazy, but we're not turning this into a farce. Yes, it's comical and it's crazy and it's wild, but yet we're grounding this at the same time. And I really appreciated that. And again, even people like James Hong does a really awesome job here. Hell, Ki Hugh Kwan. Dude, I haven't seen that guy in a movie forever. You know, The Goonies? Yeah, that guy. He was awesome in The Goonies. He was awesome in the Indiana Jones movie. He was awesome. Temple of Doom. He was fucking fantastic in that movie. God, it's been so long since I've seen him in a film. He was fantastic. Oh, dude, everybody does an absolutely amazing job. They kill it in these roles. I love the multiverse hopping and the different ideas. And I love the relationship between a mother and a daughter. And I think that's something that really came across in a great way, because at the end of the day, this movie is so over the top and goes to some really bizarre places that kind of make you scratch your head. But at the end of the day, there is a human story here between a wife, a mother, a daughter, someone who has had difficulties in her life and really has to sort through her shit, and somebody that learns that at the end of the day, family is important. They're the ones that bind you together and keep you sane and keep your humanity going, and that there's difficulties in your life, but that's part of living. And the idea that even though there's other realities where she's a famous cook, or she's a brilliant singer, or an award-winning actress, those are great lives, and those are ones that you'd love to experience. But you're happy with the life that you have because that's the life that you chose. And for good or bad, it's the one that you have, and you better cherish it. And I love that type of messaging in here, and I think it's brilliantly well done. It keeps the film grounded, even when everything is going haywire and bizarre and nutso. They still keep it emotionally grounded and still make you care about the characters and the story that's going on. But yet, it's just so fun and entertaining at the same time. And there's so many great themes in this movie. And you could go really deep with this shit. I mean, you could go into nihilism and the beginning of it all, and the end of life, and everything in between. And you could really dive into that. Or you could just take it for this wacky, crazy adventure that it is and still have fun with it, man. There's so many layers to the movie, but at the same time, it's just a really awesome experience that, honestly, you just have to experience, man. This is one of those movies where I could tell you all day to watch this, and I really will, because it's just that damn good, but it has to be seen to be believed. It really does, man. It is just that damn good, dude. I mean, there are some amazing movies out there that have dealt with alternate universes, multiverses, but honestly, everything, everywhere, all at once, is probably one of the best. It's honestly top tier, man. And the reason why is because it's the tits. It's just that goddamn good, man. It seriously is. The acting, the story, the CGI, the plotting, the editing. I mean, everything is so well done here, man. They hit it from all cylinders. They are definitely going full throttle here, and they're having a hell of a time doing it, man. I enjoyed this movie, man, for everything it is, and I wouldn't change a single moment in this movie. I was satisfied from beginning to motherfucking end, and I can't wait to get back on the ride, man. And what's great about this movie is that there's so many layers to it and so many Easter eggs in the film that you could watch it numerous times and still find things worth checking out and things that you didn't see before. It's just amazing in every single aspect, and I loved it so goddamn much. This really is the definition of seeing is believing. There is no doubt about that, man. Please do your due diligence. Watch this film, man, because there's just so much to this movie, and you could take it in so many different ways. It's got so much to it, and hell, you don't even need to watch this thing high. In fact, I probably wouldn't even recommend that because, boy, you'd probably be tripping like a motherfucker. You probably will, even without a little bit of drug influence. But if you did, God bless your heart and soul, man. Oh, because the experience is going to be even wilder and crazier, motherfucker. Holy shit, it will be. Even without the drugs. Damn, I still tripped like a motherfucker. Oh, indeed I did. Get all the eyes on it, all the googly eyes you can, because this one, oh man, it's worth every goddamn minute. From crazy multiverses to British sophistication in Downton Abbey, a new era. The DVD for $17.96, the Blu-ray DVD digital for $22.96, and look at this, another Walmart exclusive. Get out of here. Oh, limited edition gift set for $39.96. Look at this. Nice. What does this come with? It includes collectible photo book, postcards, and a tea strainer. Oh man, I've seen some exclusives in my day, but that might take the cake. Or the tea bag. Either one, baby. Oh my god. And the artwork is very nice too, but look at that dreaded spider claws, man. Ruin the fucking packaging every fucking time, dude. Great packaging, but you know, Walmart has to screw it up one way or another. Still nice though, regardless. If you can find it and are a big fan of Downton Abbey without the spider claws, that might be worth getting. Especially for the tea strainer. Oh, indeed it is, man. Oh, Lord, Downton Abbey. Oh, yes. Oh, man. I got a chance to watch this in the movie theaters with my mother. No lie, I actually did, man. And yeah, I was actually kind of surprised that my mother wanted to watch this. I remember us going to see West Side Story in the movie theaters in December of last year, and the trailer for Downton Abbey: A New Era came up. And my mother ended up saying to me, that looks really interesting. Would you like to go see that? And I'm thinking to myself, well, Ma, you've never seen any of the other Downton Abbey movies or the series for that matter. And she's like, I don't know, it looked kind of interesting. And so I don't really get to go with my mother to the movie as much as I'd like. So I was like, okay, an opportunity to go to the movie with my mom. Hey, any chance, I'll definitely take it, so why the hell not, man? So, hey, I decided to go with her. And we had a good time with this movie. We actually did, crazy enough, man. I mean, basically, the Downton Abbey itself is kind of in disrepair. The roof is kind of leaking and collapsing a bit. They need the money. And so this silent movie crew wants to film there. They'll give them a ton of money. They need it, so they take it. Meanwhile, the Countess herself has a little bit of a secret going on. She's actually inheriting this villa, and they want to know why her exactly. This guy that she spent a week with a long time ago suddenly gives her a villa many decades later. Why? What's the connection? The mystery of it? And so they kind of one group goes one way, the other group goes the other way, and they have kind of an interesting misadventure. And it was kind of nice, not gonna lie, kind of interesting indeed, dude. So I kind of appreciated that. A little bit of a different Downton Abbey story being told, but kind of a satisfying one, not gonna lie, man. It was actually really good and interesting, and I gotta admit, man, I mean, as I've said to you guys before, I've watched the first Downton Abbey film, and I actually really like that movie. I think it's really well made. I love the actors, I love the characters, the period piece drama, the story of it. I thought it was really fantastic, really well made, but I had never seen any of the series. My girlfriend, on the other hand, she's seen the entire series and has never actually seen the movie. So it was kind of like a little bit weird. And I was like, okay, I'm kind of walking into the movie a little bit blind. I didn't exactly know what the hell I was walking myself into, but I really appreciated it. And so when they did the sequel, I kind of had to go and check it out because, well, the first one was so good, why not give it another go, right? And I will admit this, I am actually starting to watch the Downton Abbey TV series. Yes, I'm finally starting to do it. After so goddamn long, man. It's been a while. I was starting to actually watch it on Netflix. I was watching sort of halfway through the first season, and what happened is it's now no longer on Netflix. It's somehow rights issues or something. They had to get rid of it. So I was watching halfway through the first season, and then suddenly it got cut off. I'm like, God damn it, man. So now I gotta switch over to Peacock. They have the full series. So I'm like, one fucking streaming service to another, man. But it is worth it, actually, because that first season is really extremely strong. I'm loving the characters and the story so far, and I kind of want more Downton Abbey in my life. So I'm getting through it. Hopefully sooner rather than later I'll be all done with it, but I kind of want to savor the experience, so I'm gonna take my time with it. It's kind of like drinking a nice cup of tea, right? That tea strainer, huh? It really is, because you just want to savor all the flavor. You really do, man. And I gotta admit, even for my mother, because again, you have to remember, my mother went into this movie absolutely cold. She knows nothing about the storylines or the characters or any of the past issues that happened with these stories and the build-up. She knows nothing, okay? And after we left the movie, I had asked her, I said, what did you think about it? Because, I mean, she is literally a Downton Abbey virgin, okay? She really is. And I said, what do you think about it? And she loved it. She was like, she thought it was great. She loved the 1920s look. She liked the characters. She thought the humor was really well done. She liked the period piece. She was really loving it. And she thought it was really colorful characters and colorful situations. And it felt quirky and fun and entertaining and cheeky. And she really dug it. So for somebody that is a complete novice, for somebody that knows literally nothing and just walked into this blind, she really loved it. And that says a lot about Downton Abbey, that you can pick it up at any point, whether in the series or the first movie or the second film, and still really enjoy the journey with these characters, because the story is that strong and the personalities are that strong, and it really comes through even for a first timer like myself with the last movie or my mother with this one. It really is great, man. And I really loved the characters really exploring the ideas of life and death and new beginnings and letting go of the past, and I really enjoyed that. And even bringing in the whole like silent film talky aspect to it, I thought was really brilliant. As somebody who is a fan of that idea, I thought it really brought something new and interesting to the table that I really loved, man. It was just great seeing these old characters back again and seeing them have another adventure and another go at it. I really loved it, man. It was pure fun, pure entertainment, pure nostalgia, and it was really just a great dramatic and comedic adventure that just warms your heart in the biggest, baddest way. It truly does, man. And it's just the power of the story and the legacy of these characters that has really lived on in people's hearts and minds, and they want to go back and revisit it any way they can. And I'm so glad that they made another movie out of it. It is really just that damn good. It honestly is. Maybe not as wild and crazy as Everything Everywhere All at Once, but it doesn't need to be. It just needs to be simple, same old Downton Abbey with a little bit of a twist, but it's a twist that I definitely appreciate. Diving back into good old nostalgic Downton Abbey. There's just something feel good about it, and it's like a warm blanket. You just want to wrap yourself in it. And honestly, it's an adventure worth wrapping yourself in multiple times. It really is. Downton Abbey. Old nostalgia. It can't be beat. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. In memory of a Blu-ray DVD digital for $22.96, a DVD for $17.96. Oh man, you know, we had 2 really good movies, Downton Abbey and Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then we had to have Liam Neeson. Man, you just gotta ruin the party, don't you son of a bitch? Oh, you really did. Oh man, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and look, just like Bruce Willis, I'm a glutton for punishment, man. I really am. I just keep on hoping that the next Liam Neeson movie is good again, right? I keep on hoping and hoping and hoping some more, and somehow I just keep getting disappointed. At this point, I shouldn't be surprised. I just can't quit you, Liam. I can't. We've had good times before. We can have them again, right? I highly doubt it, man, but I keep on trying, dude. I mean, memory basically follows Liam Neeson. He's this assassin with a heart of gold, I suppose. Yeah, that's really a thing. And so he's hired to do this job to hunt down and kill this person. But what he realizes is the person is actually a kid, like a young girl. And so he doesn't want to do it because he has this moral quandary. He doesn't want to do that shit. And so basically she ends up dying anyways at the hands of somebody somehow, and they're blaming it on him, and he has to try to basically get revenge and clear his name and take down every last bastard. Liam Neeson style motherfucker. Oh man, absolutely he does, dude. I mean, look, all things considered, it's not a bad movie, really. I mean, as far as Liam Neeson action movies go as of late, this doesn't really shit the bed. There is some really good action moments in here, and there's actually moments where you believe Liam Neeson can do the action stuff. There has been some movies that he has done recently where you're like, dude, come on, man. I mean, I'm like turning 40 and I can't even do that shit. Alright? Liam Neeson definitely wouldn't be able to do that. He's got like 2 bad hips, a bad bag. I mean, damn, dude. I mean, I got my issues, but seriously, Liam ain't pulling that shit off to save his fucking life, man. So I'm thinking, it's just not believable. Here, there's actually moments where you believe he can pull it off, and even moments where he's not up to par. There's moments where he is kind of losing a bit, and he's not up to snuff, and you believe it, man. There's moments where he's really feeling pain and anguish and really suffering, and you feel it. And so in that department, there is some believability there that you can actually buy. The problem is the story. I mean, it's just kind of complicated and convoluted and all over the fucking place, and some of it just doesn't make any goddamn sense. I mean, this little girl is connected to this drug trafficking, sex ring, child trafficking thing that's going on all at the same time. The FBI, the CIA is involved, and there's like this really major head, queen, kingpin, drug czar who is like running the whole thing, and there's this all type of corruption and chaos that's happening within the government, and she's manipulating everything behind the scenes, and there's like double crosses and triple crosses and quadruple crosses, and people getting killed because they didn't do this hit, or because they knew of this information, and because they didn't get the hit done, then they're getting killed because of it. And it's just really all over the place, man. And at a certain point, it kind of gets bogged down a little bit too much in plot. Sometimes simple stupid is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, just saying, keep it very stripped down, basic, and the characters can keep you going with the intrigue at times. Yeah, you need a surprise here and there, but for the most part, making it really overcomplicated and confusing doesn't really help matters. I mean, I didn't really need to know that Monica Bellucci was sort of the female godfather of the, you know, drug and sex trafficking ring. Okay, I really didn't need to know that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Monica Bellucci is one good-looking lady, but I hope she doesn't put that on her Tinder profile, because that's a major turnoff. That really is, man. And all the people that are dying around Liam Neeson, and at the same time, Liam Neeson is having memory loss. He's having like Alzheimer's or dementia, and his mind isn't what it used to be, and so he's forgetting certain things, and sometimes that has the potential to be very dramatic and interesting, but sometimes it actually comes off kind of comedic. I don't think they were meaning for it to, but it kind of came off that way. And even somebody like Guy Pearce, who I love, and he's one of the people in the FBI that's trying to do the right thing for this little girl, and things go terribly wrong, and he's sort of caught in the crossfire. He's really good here, and Liam Neeson has his moments, but again, it's the plot that lets them down in a big bad way, man. And unfortunately, they can't get past that. There's some decent action moments here, there's some good character drama, but it just doesn't come together the way you want it to, and that's a real goddamn shame, man. And think about this for a second. Go back to that first Taken. Very simple story. Old school badass, daughter gets taken and he's out for revenge, right? Easy. And it worked out pretty damn good for Liam Neeson overall, man, and he's actually still trying to relive those days. So you don't need to be over convoluted. You just don't, man. And even because of that, because the plot is so all over the place, certain actors get swallowed up because of it, because they just don't have time to shine. People like Monica Bellucci. Hell, even though I like Guy Pearce, really, he's so good as an actor, and I just felt that there are moments where he was kind of wasted here. It's just a goddamn shame. It really is unfortunate overall, man. It had potential. It really did. Out of a lot of other Liam Neeson movies, this one had a lot of potential, and unfortunately, the plot just swallowed it whole. I mean, at a certain point, it's hard to follow it when all these people are getting killed. You don't know who's on the good side and who's on the bad side. And even when you think you do, that gets turned around like a motherfucker in the next like 5 to 10 minutes. And then the cycle like continues all over again, man. I mean, you know, rinse, repeat. You know what I'm saying? And it's just fucking sad, man. Yeah, it has its moments, but it ain't no Taken. But then again, it ain't a lot of things. It tries, but it fails, and it fails pretty hard at moments. Oh, it really does. Better luck next time, I suppose, but I don't know. Liam, I keep coming back to you. I really want to relive those old school days. We've had some good times together, haven't we? Oh, we really have. But something tells me that the good times are very much in the rearview mirror. Oh, man. Well, I mean, at least we'll always have Dark, man. Good times. Oh, good times indeed. Oh, brother. Oh, man. Hey, well, Liam Neeson might have let me down yet again, but this Walmart certainly did not. Look at this. Oh, yes, baby. This Walmart is much, much better indeed. All the new release love and exclusive goodies, too. Definitely warms my heart in a big, bad way. Oh, indeed it does. Much better. Let's head out. Not bad. Not bad at all, baby. Not too shabby indeed. Much better than the first Walmart. Come on. You agree with me. I know you do, man. In fact, I should probably come to the Amish country more often. Actually, it's really bad when the Amish country has more physical media than being in the city. Oh, man. That ain't good. That's bad, man. Shit. All right. Well, hey, who'd have thought, man? But I'm so happy that we got the new release love. We got the exclusive goodness, all within the Amish country, of all places. That's why you never know where to look until you actually go in. Surprise, surprise indeed, baby. Oh, it is, man. But a pleasant surprise nonetheless. Oh, absolutely it is. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely do. Now it's time to leave the Amish country, sadly, and head back into the city. Shame, but I could be back. All right, everybody. We are at our second location, Target. But before I go in, I gotta talk to you guys about something. You know, you work on a project for so long, you put your heart and soul into it, you hope it works out, but then I read articles like this and I'm like, wait a minute, why did it take so long? Yeah, good old James Cameron, huh? From Vulture, James Cameron may pass the baton to another director for Avatar 4 and 5. Wait a minute, wasn't he already filming that shit? Okay, let's dive in, shall we? While everyone is already getting their blue face paint ready for Avatar, The Way of Water, a certain director might already have his eyes on the exit door. In an interview with Empire, director James Cameron admitted that there might be room for a new director in a future Avatar sequel. The Avatar films themselves are kind of all-consuming, Cameron tells Empire. I've got some other things I'm developing as well as are just as equally as exciting. I think eventually over time, I don't know if that's after 3 or after 4, I'll want to pass the baton to a director that I trust to take over, so I can go and do some other stuff that I'm also interested. Or maybe not, I don't know. So he really doesn't even have a definitive answer. So he doesn't even know what the hell he's doing after doing Avatar 2 and 3. He might do 4. Fuck it, he might do 5. Honestly, he has no fucking plan. And I thought he had a plan. What? What the hell is going on? Oh my God, man. Okay. So explain to me, please, somebody, somewhere, somehow, some way, explain to me why the fuck it took 13 years to get from the first Avatar to now the Avatar sequel that's finally coming out this December. Why the fuck did it take this long, man? I mean, I'm sure James Cameron will say, well, it was the script, and I had to create the whole world, and all the story, and the characters. Dude, 13 years, though. I mean, I have seen directors and screenwriters take a long time on doing scripts and creating a whole world of opportunity with vast storylines and so many characters and so many complications. But it didn't take him 13 fucking years either. My God, man. And the fact that he hasn't even started working on Avatar 4 and 5, apparently. I had assumed, and I'm assuming you guys did as well, that he was literally filming back to back to back to back. Like he was filming Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5, doing all the technology, all the story, all that jazz, and eventually it would come out every other year. Right? I assumed that. Maybe that makes me an ass for assuming it, but that's what I kind of thought was going on here. So now you're telling me that he might not direct Avatar 4 and 5? Does he even have a story for it? I mean, I'm assuming he does, but he hasn't even filmed anything. I mean, are the actors committed to this? Does anybody know really what the hell is going on? Does the studio even know, like, what's happening? And the fact that he's already announced Avatar 4 and 5. Like, well, it's coming out in whatever fucking year it's happening. Who knows? But he announced it. We're doing Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. 4 fucking sequels. And the fact that he doesn't even know about what's going on for Avatar 4 and 5. Well, I may direct it. I may not. I might find somebody who I trust to do it. Hey, I don't have a fucking plan. What? God damn, dude. It just kind of frustrates me, dude. I've been hearing all this time about how he's taking a long time and developing all the stories and this overlong and very tremendous arc that's going to go through all the films. And I'm like, oh, that's really amazing. Well, now I'm hearing that's the exact opposite. Well, he knows exactly what he's doing for 2 and 3, but 4 and 5... maybe. Oh, whoa. You know, He did this before in the past, if you remember. Terminator, anybody? Ah, yes, directed Terminator. Terminator 2, created the world, created the characters, and then he just left it. He passed the baton on to other directors and other filmmakers, and hey, the studio can do what they want to do. And guess what happened with that franchise? Yeah, good times, huh? Oh my goodness. What the hell, dude? I mean, I trust James Cameron, and I don't want to bet against James Cameron. I really honestly don't. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, why 13 years? If you really weren't directing 4 and 5 and you have this overlong arc and story, why did it take you this long? Maybe the technology? Well, the technology is amazing anyways nowadays. I mean, we can make a lot of very photorealistic CGI if you put enough money into it, but when you have Disney money, you're pretty much guaranteed. Okay? So I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't understand what the plan is. At this point, I really don't. I mean, look, I don't even know how successful it's going to be at the end of the day. He's banking on it, but you've announced all of these movies, you've guaranteed the studio these many sequels, and you haven't even started anything pretty much for part 4 and 5 yet. I don't get it, dude. I have no idea, man. I mean, I'd like to see creators have some sort of fucking plan when they're doing these many movies and this many arcs, but the fact that that's not even happening kind of has me just a wee bit worried. What about you? I don't know, man. I trust in James Cameron because honestly, he's proven me wrong many times before, but dude, you are really gambling with house money, and hopefully you gambled right. Oh, God. And the fact that you don't even know what's going on with 4 and 5, that's kind of scary. Let me know what you think about that, man. Some filmmakers have a plan, and some people kind of wing it. James Cameron has a bit of both. Let's hope it pays off. Let's hope it pays off indeed, man. But hopefully, Target has some good physical media this week. Let's hope. But how about we go in and check it out? All right, everybody. We are in at Target and all the new release love. Definitely got to appreciate it, baby. And quite the interesting variety indeed. Let's dive in, shall we? With a little bit of Downton Abbey, a new era. The Blu-ray DVD digital for $22.99. The DVD for $17.99. Oh, yes. A little bit of British goodness. Oh, indeed, baby. Now, I gotta admit, man, I think for me, what I really loved about this movie, I mean, yes, it's nice to see the characters again, don't get me wrong about that, but I love the British sensibilities, the old school period piece British drama. I don't know why. For some reason, that is something that I've always really loved and really dug over the years, man. Whether it's the old school Jane Austen adaptations, anything to do with Queen Elizabeth, I've always really been fascinated by that stuff, especially movies like Atonement, Gosford Park, Remains of the Day, Howard's Inn. Oh, yeah. That's actually one of my favorites, man. There's something about Anthony Hopkins in a period piece that just really gets me going. I don't know what it is, man. But that guy definitely knows how to do his period piece dramas. That's for damn sure, man. He plays one hell of a butler, too. He really does. But, you know, there's something about that time frame that I really love. And actually, for me, one of my favorite historical times in the 20th century is the 1910s and the 1920s. There's something about that era that is incredibly fascinating to me. I mean, there was so much historical significance that was going on at that point, but also the arts were really breaking out in a big bad way, if you really think about it. Playwrights and authors and actors and filmmakers and musicians, and it was just a really creative time overall, and I'm just incredibly fascinated by that. In fact, one of my favorite Woody Allen films of all time is Midnight in Paris because it takes place in the 1920s, and I just love how they really framed it being in Paris and the different artists and everything. I thought that was really interesting stuff, honestly. And so that era incredibly fascinates me. I mean, not only the glitz and glamour of the roaring 20s, but also the fact that at the end of that era, at the end of that decade, there was the whole financial collapse and the depression, and just the juxtaposition of the high times and then the low times, and how it would be a vast difference between one era to the next. I think that shit is really fascinating and really unique and interesting to me. I love exploring that type of stuff, especially in movie form. It's always been really interesting to me, and that's one of the reasons why I love this movie as much as I do, man. Especially with the whole idea of the talkies. I mean, I said it earlier how much I really love that storyline and how much I really dig it, and think that it was a really great addition, especially during that era, that time. I think it's like 1928, give or take. I just thought it was a really unique add-on to it, but I also thought it brought a different vibe to the festivities. I mean, think about it. How many period piece dramas actually have a storyline where they're filming a talkie? I can't think of a single one, man. And I'm racking my brain like a motherfucker. I mean, seriously. I think this is like the only one, man. So it brought some humor to the characters, a different type of challenge that they're not normally used to. I really dug it. But if you really think about it, the first episode of Downton Abbey, the characters are reading a newspaper that talks about the sinking of the Titanic. And now in this movie, they're actually filming a talkie. I mean, that's a span of almost 20 years. And it's so amazing what the characters and the storyline has went through the historical times throughout the decades. And that is amazing to me, and how they've excellently woven it throughout, and how it's impacted the characters and the stories and the relationships. I think is absolutely phenomenal, man. There's not many shows that do that, and this is one that did it rather successfully, man. I gotta admit, I mean, you come here for the characters, you come here for the kitschy relationships, the unique humor from back in the day, but I think the historical context can't really be lost on us either. And I think that's really fascinating and really interesting. And fun fact, by the way, the official British talkie, the first official British talkie, is actually Alfred Hitchcock's Blackmail from 1929. Yes, it was actually originally being filmed as a silent film, and then the studio mandated that it be a part talkie. So actually, interesting that the first British talkie film was actually an Alfred Hitchcock picture. That is some interesting shit, man. Just a little fun fact to share with you guys. But I definitely love this, and this movie has some really great moments in it, and it's so fascinating to see how far the franchise has come. And for me, it's really special, and you feel like the characters have grown, not only as human beings, but throughout the events that they've experienced. And I gotta give the series mad props for that, because not many are able to pull it off successfully. Downton Abbey actually has done it pretty damn good. And just so you know how popular Downton Abbey actually is, so there was like 3 or 4 DVDs. They're all gone, man, and there's only one Blu-ray copy left in the entire store. Seriously, man, I think they kind of underestimated how big the fan base for Downton Abbey actually is. So there's one Blu-ray left. And I'm sure that's gonna go pretty goddamn fast, dude. Holy shit, it will. So, from one classic tale to the next, said no one never. The Blu-ray DVD digital of Memory for $22.99, the DVD for $17.99. Oh, yes. Liam Neeson goodness. Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, man. You know, look, I don't want to hate on Liam Neeson. I like Liam Neeson. I really do. I don't want to tear the guy down, but I kind of have as of late. But I'm being forced to. I'm being force-fed these shit movies, man. And at a certain point, I'm like, dude, you just give me no fucking choice. Seriously, you really don't, man. And look, we are so far removed from Taken. Hell, man, we are so far removed from Darkman or Rob Roy or Crawl. You fucking name it, dude. He's not the guy that he used to be. Very, very far removed from that. I mean, really, he honestly is. I mean, he used to have it. Where it went, only God knows, man. But if he finds it, will somebody let him know, please? because I don't think it's ever happening anytime soon. But look, he's not exactly the worst older action star ever. I've seen worse. I have. I really have, man. He's not bad, all things considered, but he just keeps getting worse, man. And the movies literally are like interchangeable, unknown, nonstop, run all night, black light. I mean, I could go on and on. Honest Thief, The Commuter, you name it. My God, man, just every single time, he just keeps getting worse. I mean, at one point I thought Marksman was pretty bad, and then they did Blacklight, and I'm like, oh shit, they actually found one that's worse. How? I mean, seriously, man, what the hell? I mean, it's just not good for him whatsoever. It really isn't a good look. But then there's moments where I'm reminded how great of an actor he is. Like when he did that movie Made in Italy. That's a really great movie. A really great drama comedy. And I thought he was awesome in that movie, man. I think it was great. Really charming. Then there's moments like in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Spoiler alert, but he shows up as a Force ghost. And I'm like, oh shit. Qui-Gon. I was like, man, can we like have him back in like, I don't know, a prequel series, or, you know, maybe another season 2 of Obi-Wan where he comes back and instructs Obi. Can we do that, please? Because god damn it, man, I need Liam Neeson in something fucking good. I mean, I'm not saying that this is bad exactly. It's average, better than the other Liam Neeson shit he's been doing as of late. I mean, you know, come on. But it doesn't exactly inspire confidence either. It's just time for him to, I don't want to say retire as an actor necessarily, but stop doing these type of roles, because after a while it just doesn't look good anymore, man. I mean, there was a reason why Bronson lasted as long as he did, right? Because he wasn't doing kung fu martial arts moves. He wasn't trying to be this badass with his fists. He had a big fucking gun and a bad attitude, and he knew how to use it. And that's it, man. Well, I mean, the mustache didn't hurt either, but just saying. I mean, he knew his strengths, and he knew how to play to them, and filmmakers knew how to use him the right way. And he was badass because of it. And that's got to happen with Liam Neeson. He's got to play to his strengths. And I think everybody who saw The First Taken is like, oh my God, he's one badass motherfucker, man. They really utilized him in the right way. And I kind of feel like ever since The First Taken, they haven't really used him in the best way possible. And is there a way for him to sort of come back and be the old school, old man badass? I guess, but I kind of think his time has passed, unfortunately. I mean, there's literally a show on FX right now with Jeff Bridges where he's this badass coming out of retirement, and so far it's really fucking good, man. And I'm thinking like, that's using an older actor in the right way to utilize his strengths and still look badass while doing it. I just wish Liam Neeson was the same way. I wish filmmakers would have used him the right way, man. Unfortunately, Taken was a one and done thing. And unfortunately, it wasn't actually the trend. It was just the fad, unfortunately. And that's a goddamn shame, man. Look, I'll watch whatever Liam Neeson does because it's Liam motherfucking Neeson, and he deserves my respect at the very least. But these movies are kind of tarnishing the brand just a wee bit. I'd like to see him go out with one major badass role, but that is something that I think is not gonna happen anytime soon. Yeah, we're just gonna get more of the bad action flicks. Can't wait. The mind can be a dangerous place in the multiverse, in everything, everywhere, all at once. Oh yes, the Blu-ray digital for $16.99. Yes. Oh yeah, a little bit of Michelle Yeoh goodness. Oh, absolutely, baby. Because I gotta be honest here. I'm gonna be real and say Michelle Yeoh is a goddamn rock star in this movie. She's absolutely fucking phenomenal. She's the tits. She really, really is, man. And I am so glad that Michelle Yeoh is finally getting the appreciation and the love that she absolutely deserves, because that woman has been fucking awesome for a long ass time, but hasn't really gotten her due until now. But she has been a really great kick-ass female for a long ass time. And it's time to finally celebrate this badass babe, don't you think? But that doesn't mean that the rest of the cast are limp dicks, okay? Everybody is doing a phenomenal job here, okay? They are definitely pulling their weight, but let's be real here. Michelle Yeoh is having the heavy lifting, okay? She is doing the heavy load, all right? She is the lead. Everything rests on her shoulders. And my God, man, does she pull it off in a big bad way. I loved her in this movie. She shined so well. And you know, it's kind of interesting looking at Michelle Yeoh and her career, because for me at least, I look at the first thing I ever saw her in, which was Tomorrow Never Dies, that Bond flick. And she's so good in that movie, actually. She's really great in that film, man. I mean, it's not the most memorable Bond film of all time, but she's really good in it, all things considered. Of course, you have to admit that probably the one everybody knows, the legendary one, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Oh yeah, man. That is a phenomenal fucking movie, dude. That is amazing. The martial arts in there, the sequences where they're fighting on the bamboo, and the cinematography, God, it's so beautiful, dude. And it still holds up to this day, actually. It's really good, man. But I had seen her in those two movies, and then I was like, you know what, I kind of gotta go back and watch some of her older stuff. And that's when I found stuff like Super Cop, Moonlight Express, The Stunt Woman, Tai Chi Master, and so many of those old school movies that she did, man. And they are great. I mean, okay, to be fair, some are better than others, no doubt about it, but there's some really amazing flicks that she did back in the day, dude. And I kind of feel like later on in her career, she's done some cool stuff like Kung Fu Panda 2. Yeah, some haven't been so hot, like, you know, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. I mean, hey, they were offering her paycheck, so what the fuck? I mean, she hasn't done everything absolutely amazing, but she's done some really great stuff over the years. And it's nice that she's sort of getting more of a notice. I mean, even seeing her in something like Crazy Rich Asians, she was amazing in Crazy Rich Asians. Of course, not being like the martial arts badass babe that she usually is, but I can still dig it, man. Asian representation. It's definitely something that we need more of, man. I mean, as much as I love Jackie Chan, and trust me, I definitely do, sometimes we need a little bit more people to step up. And the females definitely need to do it, and Michelle Yeoh is definitely representing in a big bad way. But she's been in the business for a really long time. She's been doing this and really putting in the blood and the sweat and the tears, and it's actually finally starting to pay off after so goddamn long. And it's nice to see the reappreciation, the re-love for her, and seeing her in things like Shang-Chi, which she was fucking awesome in, or even seeing her in a show like Star Trek Discovery. I mean, I'm not saying that Star Trek Discovery is like the best Star Trek show ever, but seeing her in it, in a big, you know, recognizable franchise like that, is good for her career, man. And now this is like the cherry on top. It truly is, and she is amazing here, and she deserves all the love and the praise that she gets because she's just that damn good in the movie, man. I mean, this was actually originally supposed to be Jackie Chan. No lie. They actually originally wrote it for Jackie, and then they had kind of rethought about it and thought, oh, the wife husband dynamic, and they decided Michelle Yeoh instead. I am so happy, amazingly happy that they picked Michelle Yeoh, because she absolutely deserves this, man. She is such an amazing martial artist, actress, and she has really put in the effort and the time. And you know, a lot of moments in your career you think, hey, I'm playing second fiddle to everybody else. When am I really going to get the spotlight? And she absolutely is getting it now, and much deserved. Maybe a little too late, maybe, but better late than never. She is amazing here, and this movie needs to be seen to be believed. That is for damn sure. And she is an absolute fucking rock star in this bitch. She absolutely is, and she kills it. The movie is amazing, and she makes it all the more worth it. Oh, she truly does, baby. Oh, truly does indeed, man. Not half bad. And not half bad for the Target love. A few big new release goodies. Not half bad at all, baby. I will definitely take it. Because with Target, we always get the good. That's for damn sure, man. Not bad at all. Let's head out. Not half bad, Target. Not half bad at all. Mind you, could have been a wee bit better. I mean, no exclusives this week. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, we have everything everywhere all at once. Downton Abbey. How, we couldn't get any exclusive for the Liam Neeson love? Okay, maybe that would have been asking a little too much. But at least something. But hey, beggars, as I've always said, can't be choosers, and at least we got the physical media goodness to check out, which always makes me, wait for it, a very happy physical media boy. Oh, indeed it does, man. So they definitely did their due diligence this week, and you definitely have to appreciate that. And oh, I always do. Oh, indeed I do, man. And I know you do as well. Can't say they pull it out of the park every single week, but they do have the physical media love every week. And honestly, Target has really been one of the actual, like, consistent places to carry physical media love week to week to ever-loving week, man. They have been killing it and been supplying the love. May not always be what we want, might not always be as plentiful, but they're definitely carrying it. And can't say that's for every store, you know what I'm saying? I definitely can. So, hey, you gotta give Target props where they deserve it. Even if we don't get the exclusive love, we get the new release goodies, and hey, that can't be beat. Oh, indeed it can't. Hopefully you loved everything that we got to see. I always do. But how about we head to the next location? Hopefully more physical media love that is ahead. All right, everybody. We are at our third location, the second Walmart. I'm going to go in and check out if they have any interesting indie titles we're showing off, as I always do. If there is, I'll bring it back to Film Fan 108 HQ and show it off to each and every one of you. But before I do that, I got to talk about a trailer with you guys. And let me be real. Let me be honest. Let me lay it on the line. Sometimes, not always, sequels can be good. They can be worthy. And other times, the gamble doesn't pay off. What will it be like this time? Let's hope that the Sanderson sisters can come back in style. Let's hope. In Hocus Pocus 2. The Sanderson evilness is back to wreak havoc yet again. Please be good. Please, pretty please. Oh, man. Okay. So let me be honest with you guys. I love the first Hocus Pocus movie. I am such a fan of that film. You have to remember, it came out, I believe, in 1993, around there. I was like 10 or 11 years old at that point, and I was the right age when this film came out, and I loved it. I loved the story, I loved the characters, I loved the imagination, the quirkiness. I thought it really worked incredibly well, and I thought it always was really phenomenal. And to me, I always had a soft spot in my heart for that movie. You know, as I got older, I got more into different types of horror, much more gorier stuff, but there was always that really great creativity and imagination to that movie with the quirkiness that always sort of stuck with me. Even though I went on to much more mature horror stuff, that movie always, for me, it maintained my childhood for some reason. It really did. And I think for a lot of people, I think you can say the same, man. And for a lot of people, it has now become an absolute 100% classic. It is a necessity when you are watching a horror film, whether it's the 30 Days of Horror, whether it's just something you watch on Halloween. Hocus Pocus has become one of those movies alongside stuff like Trick or Treat and Halloween that is an essential October watch that you have to experience, man. And people that grew up with it now have kids, and they've shown it to their kids, and they love it. And it's just a movie that is going to be passed down from generation to generation. And now we get a sequel. And practically, what, like 30 years after the original film, something like that. And I don't know, man. At the end of the day, for me personally, I'm of two minds of it, right? I'm sort of one of those people that are of two minds of this type of thing. On one hand, I'm somebody that is very much looking forward to it because, dude, to just see the Sanderson sisters, to see all three of those ladies, you know, Kathy Najimy, Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, back in those roles and living it up again and cheesing it up. There's something about that I really, I love, man, and I want to cherish that. But then I get really nervous because I'm like, dude, sometimes one and done is not a bad idea. Sometimes I feel like as a studio or hell, even as fans, I feel like we're always like we're wanting more. And I think we're wanting more because we love that world and those characters so much that we just want to see them again. But sometimes the wanting is better than the having. You know what I mean? Because there has been so many times, and you've experienced it just as much as I've experienced it, where sometimes revisiting your childhood many, 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 many years later with a sequel isn't always the best idea. And sometimes your hopes get crushed like a motherfucker, okay? And you're like, damn, man, maybe returning to the well wasn't such a great idea after all. What a... like, seriously, man. But then sometimes you're really surprised and you're like, okay, this is better than it had any right to be. And I like the idea that these, you know, young teenage girls are re-summoning the Sanderson sisters again, and all the crazy hilarity sort of spawns from there. I like that. I like dealing with the potential of young witches versus old witches, good versus evil. You know, the old tried and true. It ain't half bad. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as they say. So maybe it will work out. And just that brief glimpse of the three of them all together in that one shot, man. There's something about that just got me, man. It got me so good. And I was like, oh, God, I miss you ladies. I really do. And, you know, I'm probably going to regret it, but I am looking forward to it. I really am, man, because, you know, even if this movie is not good, I will always have the first film, and I don't think it's going to necessarily tarnish the first film if this one is bad, but at the same time, you want it to be good because your love of that first film is so strong that you just want the good times to keep going. Look, I am nervous, all right? I want this to be good, but I fully recognize that I have returned to the well many times for past childhood love and have been disappointed a time or two, so I get it. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not entirely 100% optimistic, but at the same time, the nostalgia just gets to me, man, and I'm just curious to see where it all goes. Are you interested? I mean, look, I don't know whether the story's going to be strong. I don't know whether the rest of the characters are going to be very fascinating or interesting or worth a damn, but what I do know is this. Seeing the Sanderson sisters again, seeing that trio, man, it just brings back so many memories, and I can't deny it. I really can't, guys. I so can't. I am looking forward to it. For good or bad, I'm ready to dive in. Are you? Definitely let me know, man. But, well, what about the second Walmart? Is it going to have any goodies we're showing off? Well, hopefully. How about we go in? Check it out. All right, everybody. In at the good old second Walmart, baby. Back indeed. And you want to know what? It hasn't been that bad for physical media. Goodness. I mean, we've seen the new release love. We've seen a little bit of exclusives here and there. It could have been worse. All things considered, trust me, it definitely could have been, so I will take what I can definitely get, that's for damn sure, and it has been pretty plentiful at, well, most of the stores. So, what is the second Walmart going to provide? What goodies will they have to entertain us with? All of the weirdness and the bizarro. Come on, we can't live without it. We need something in our lives, right? We can't just have the new release go. We gotta have a little indie weirdness, you know what I'm saying? So does the second Walmart provide it this week? Well, you bet your ass they do. Oh, yes, you know it, baby. So, we do have a little bit of indie love, which means that we are heading back to Film Fan 108 HU, where you, Seth, yes, you get a show of the physical media goodies. I bet you can't wait. What are you doing? Well, look what we have here. From one fellow film fan to another, I know. Don't freak out, but I am a future version, one of multiple versions within the multiverse. I know, it's a little odd. It's hard to all take in at once. You know, third eye and all, but that's just because I'm much more smarter than you. But that doesn't mean that I don't have a few things to teach you, my young apprentice. Because the multiverse has many things to teach a young movie fan like yourself. And I'm here to show you the way. The multiverse? Are you sure you haven't been smoking any weed? No, wasn't smoking weed. At least I don't think I was. Anyways, we're off topic for a second. Look, all I'm saying is that I have got so much stuff to show you because I gained skills, abilities. So get this, right? I was minding my own business. Wait a minute. I highly doubt that you were minding your own business. But sure, let's go with that. Yes, I was minding my own business. Wait a minute here. Who's telling the story? You or me? Huh? Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so here I am, minding my own business, and yes, I actually was. And what ended up happening was suddenly, out of this stupendous moment, boom! I suddenly am like traveling to another multiverse, another dimension, where I have different abilities and skills, like fanny pack nunchuck skills. Fanny pack nunchuck skills? Yes, you heard that right, man. Dude, I got skills for days, baby. Look at this, man. In fact, you want to know what? I will demonstrate for you. What the? Look at this, man. Oh yeah, baby. Just you wait. Hold on. Hey, ha, ha, hey, ha, 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 whoa, ha, 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 ha. What do you think about that, baby? I'm just impressed. I mean, I honestly thought you were just gonna knock yourself out. Well, you have little faith. You are, sir. I thought that was mighty impressive. Anyways, that's just one of many skills that I have, dude. And honestly, I'm gonna demonstrate how to get to another dimension, man. I'm gonna prove it to you right here and now how I can go my consciousness from one state to another and gain superpowers, dude. Yes, it is a real thing. Are you sure it wasn't the weed? No, it wasn't the weed. Stop with the weed shit. I mean, unless you got any, but no, it's not the weed. However, that is quite tempting. Anyways, no, off topic. Look, all I'm saying is that I literally have to do something weird and crazy in order to have my consciousness go to another multiverse. So you gotta do something so out there and bizarre and ridiculousness that it will end up transferring your body into another state of being. And oh man, do I got something that is just gonna do the trick. Oh God, what is it? Well, I thought you'd never ask. Damn near waiting for it. Anyways, look, I got the foolproof plan, baby. The fullest way to go from one jumping body to the next to gain more powers, right? You gotta do something crazy, and I thought to myself, crazy? What can I do that's crazy enough even for me? Well, boy, do I got a doozy, baby. Oh, I got bugs. Eh? Look at this. Well, crickets to be exact. They look mighty tasty. You're actually gonna eat those? Yes, I am. I'm going to eat the crickets, baby. I mean, look, to be fair, there probably was other ways to go about this. I mean, my girlfriend even thought, hey, what about the crazy idea of getting rid of all of my physical media? Yeah, that conversation lasted about 2.5 seconds. Anyways, I said, look, the best possible option is to eat bugs, and to eat them now, because I need my brain to go to a new consciousness. I need to gain more superpowers, to show the uninitiated, the doubters like you that it's possible. It's about time I get to some bug eating, ain't it?
Oh, this I have to see.
Well, you know what they say, down the hatch, yada yada, whatever. Ready or not, here we go.
God! Oh, dude! What the hell?
Oh, God! Oh, I thought it was gonna work! God, so disgusting!
That was so gross. But yet, so satisfying.
Oh, God! Oh, the things I do for the multiverse!
You know what? While you're picking the out of your mouth, how about you show off the physical media? I mean, maybe a little bit of Listerine wouldn't hurt, but after that, you know, maybe to make you feel better, physical media, just saying, it brightens up any day, especially after you've eaten bugs. I mean, it's got to, right? Can't go anywhere but up. Let's hope.
I'll save some for you. Maybe you'll have better luck. Oh, God. Alright, well, even though I didn't go to a new multiverse and get new powers, hey, I still have the power of showing off the physical media, right? I don't have to eat any more bugs for that. Oh, God, I hope not. Well, you know, the physical media hasn't been half bad this week, and, well, with the indie love, it could be even better. As long as there isn't any bugs involved. I think I should be all good. Well, what do we have here? More Walmart weirdness. Oh, yes. To celebrate, to cherish, to behold. Well, not sure about that one, but hey, it's something. Let's dive in to the Walmart ridiculousness, with the first being a little bit of hunting season. Oh, yes. More like human hunting season in Death Hunt. They messed with the wrong woman. Oh, you don't say. Oh, look. Badass bae with a gun in the forest. Yeah, I can dig it. Oh, I definitely can, man. Run, fight, die. More like die by the hands of a beautiful babe. And honestly, I wouldn't mind going that way. Hey, we all gotta go some way, somehow. If you can do it by the hand of a beautiful babe, you know what? Not half bad. As long as it's not like, you know, the whole, like, I spit on your grave shit, where, like, she's literally putting a shotgun up your ass. But, you know, there are good ways to go and bad ways to go. I'm just saying, it ain't half bad, depending on the method. Depending on the method, indeed, man. What is this? While traveling to a weekend retreat, a land developer and his mistress are taken hostage by a group of men. They must fight for survival as they are let loose and hunted for sport. Yo, yes. Look, man. I mean, if you're gonna take your mistress somewhere, take her to Malibu. Take her to Hawaii. Take her to Paris or France or some shit like that. I don't know, like the backwoods of like this sort of hillbilly forest town doesn't seem like the best getaway to me. I'm just saying. Like, I just love that conversation with your mistress. Like, well, you know what, honey? My girlfriend's working tonight. And you know what? I think we can get away. Oh, can we, baby? Oh, can we, please? I can't wait. Oh, are we going to somewhere extravagant? Are we going to be going to a 5-star hotel and drinking champagne and having caviar? And he's like, well, baby, I got something better. What about a cabin in the woods in a redneck town, eh? I told ya, I know how to wine and dine, baby. Oh man. At that point I'd be like, you know what? I'm just gonna find a YouTuber and go to his place and watch movies. Oh, well, in that case, hello. Oh man. Just saying, because I treat you a hell of a lot better than this motherfucker can. At least I'm not in some backwoods getting hunted by some redneck motherfuckers. I mean, hey, I offer a pretty good deal. We'll sit back, watch some movies, have some fruit punch. The recliner's pretty sweet too. Just saying, I have the perks. Oh, indeed I do, man. Ah, look, dude. Some people just don't have luck. I mean, look. You really were expecting to just be left alone. You're with your mistress. You're probably showing off, flaunting it. These guys probably haven't seen a chick for a long ass time, okay? They've been watching porn for a long ass while, man. I mean, all they've had is Pornhub. So, honestly, when they see the real thing, it's kind of like a convict. They lose their fucking minds, man. And so, what did you really expect, bro? Seriously. Pornhub can only last so long. It really can, man. But look, hunting for sport, hunting for survival, it's not like that's anything new. We've seen it in movies a time or two, haven't we? I mean, whether we're talking about The Hunger Games, Battle Royale, The Most Dangerous Game, yes, from 1932. I mean, there is that remake that they did a while back, which honestly, dude, just stick with the 32 version, okay? It's so much better, man. I mean, even though it's old school, man, some of the stuff they were doing even way back then, man, was some really dark shit. I mean, humans hunting humans, dude, our history is full of dark shit, man. And it's movies that really put a spotlight on that. And it's something that I really appreciate. And yes, there's times where it's a little bit more goofy, a little more sci-fi, but I still like the fact that they really put it out there into the world, man. Even, as I said, something like an I Spit on Your Grave, or even Straw Dogs. Straw Dogs, man, this reminds me definitely of Straw Dogs in a little bit of ways, only because if you really think about it, this couple going into this backwoods town, having this house, these rednecks, these people that, see these city folk coming into their town and basically losing their shit and attacking them. It's dark shit, man. It really honestly is, dude. And sometimes it's done better than others. One that I really liked as of recent, one really great human hunting humans that I thought was actually really spot on. Had some satire, but some really dark action moments that I really appreciated. And I think you know what that is, baby. Or at least I hope you do. Because, boy, this one really surprised me, and that is none other than The Hunt. Yes! Oh, man. So good. Only a dozen of people may be hunted at the manor. Oh, you're damn right. Killing for sport in all the most gory and ridiculous and fun-ass ways. Oh, so good, man. It really was a surprise for me because I've seen a lot of these type of movies, and I kind of go in with a certain amount of expectation. And yeah, there is a certain amount of predictability to the movie, but I just love the black humor to it. I love the acting here, the satire, the political correctness, like, or the un-PC-ness, more like it. I really do tend to dig this movie quite a bit, man. It's just really fun, incredibly entertaining, and some really great kills and some action sequences. Love the hell out of this movie, man. It is way better than it has any right to be, and it's really solid, man. Really, really love that movie so much, man. So there is some really good ones out there. Some, as I said, better than others, but when you find a really good one, man, is it solid and really hard hitting and entertaining in all of the best gruesome ways. You know what I'm saying? And, well, is Death Hunt actually going to be another one of those that is along the lines of An I Spit on Your Grave, Straw Dogs, The Hunt? Man, you're stretching it. You really honestly are, dude. Look, all I'm hoping for is a good little survival tale with a badass chick taking out some redneck motherfuckers, okay? If that is what it is, then I'll be somewhat satisfied. But honestly, I kind of see some really stupid characters, really stupid situations, and hopefully at the end of the day, maybe a good gruesome kill or two that might satisfy the urge. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, am I expecting a lot from Death Hunt? No. But if this movie teaches us anything, it's that if you have a mistress and if your wife or your girlfriend is away, you know, take her to someplace better. Take her to a bed and breakfast. Take her to a Motel 6, Hampton Inn. You know, someplace where there's less bed bugs and less rednecks. Because something tells me that you'll have an enjoyable time. Maybe not the wine and caviar, but less murder. And that can never be a bad thing. Dun, 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 dun. More shark movies! Oh, God, why? Oh, God damn it, man. Motherfucker. Jesus. Man, they're like cloning these goddamn things. Fucking hell, dude. They're coming out every fucking week. Jeez. And I feel like Joan Crawford, you know, in that movie, Joan Crawford is like, no more wire hangers. And I kind of want to be like, no more shark movies. Oh, man. When are we ever gonna fucking learn, man? Well, to be fair, you know, the world is full of really idiotic and stupid people, so the more there is, tends to be more for the sharks to eat. Well, there's always going to be more stupid and idiotic people out there, so I guess more chum for the sharks. Oh, man, when will we ever learn? Man, because terror runs deep. Well, at least that's what they say. Oh, man. Scream, scream for your life with your boobs busting out of your shit. Oh, man. From the executive producer of Great White and 47 Meters Down. That doesn't exactly give me confidence. Not really. Oh, man. What is this about? After a night of partying on the beach, a group of spring breakers steal jet skis and head out to sea. But the fun quickly turns to horror after a head-on collision leaves them injured, bleeding, and stranded in shark-infested waters, fighting for their survival. Oh, indeed it is. But honestly, oh, man, you just stupid-ass fucking spring breakers that deserve everything you fucking get, you goddamn morons. Jeez. Oh, dude. You know, I don't know if it's me getting older and certain sensibilities are changing. Maybe, it's possible. But honestly, I see these stupid people out there, these fucking teenage spring breakers, these know-it-alls, kids out there doing their fucking TikTok dances and their Instagram shit. And I see it and I'm like, dude, I want you to get eaten mercifully by a fucking shark, man. I want him to bite on your organs slowly. I really do, man. God, that shit just irritates me. So, if anything, what this movie can at least give me is some satisfaction seeing teenagers flaunting it and getting killed in gruesome ways by the shark. So maybe in some ways there is a little entertainment value to this goddamn turkey. At least there is to some point. But can we finally, at least finally, can we say it, man? Can we say that there's no way in hell that any shark movie nowadays, and I don't care what it is, whether it's the biggest budget or the lowest B-movie cheese, can we finally at least admit it, guys, that we're never going to, and I'm serious about this, we are never going to, in the history of the world, in the history of cinema, past and present, we are never going to replace Jaws as the king. We're never gonna do it, man. That's just the sad reality of it. I mean, it's a good reality because Jaws is fucking amazing and I love this goddamn movie so damn much. But everybody has always tried to ape off of Jaws ever since this came out, man. Even the Jaws sequels have aped off of Jaws, man. And they still can't get this shit right. I mean, seriously, this is the best of them all, and that will never, ever fucking change, man. I mean, sometimes there is ones out there that are really good, that are really fantastic, that are really amazing, that are worthy of your time. For instance, movies like Open Water, which again, Open Water, amazing movie, man. I thought that was really tense, thrilling, on the edge of your seat. You look at something like The Shallows. I still think The Shallows is pretty damn solid of a horror survival tale. Minus some of the bad CGI with the shark at moments, which looks straight out of an animated Pixar movie. But that being said, man, Blake Lively is gorgeous. I really love the thrills and a lot of the tense moments. I mean, those are really great ones. But then you get shit like Sharknado or Shark Night, and God knows how many other motherfucking ones out there that have really disappointed, man. I mean, it's just a goddamn tragedy. It really honestly is, dude. I mean, with all the technology out there, with all the storytelling capabilities and the possibilities, man, Jaws from the 70s is still the best we can do, man. And again, this is still a fucking amazing film. And thank God we haven't actually remade this shit, because, man, I'd be fucking pissed. I really would, dude. Classics never go out of style, and Jaws proves that, especially when it comes to the shark genre. That is goddamn truth, man. And when it comes to more shark goodness, well, we continue to get movies like Sharkbait, which prove my point even further. Oh, it really honestly does, man. Ah, shit, man. I get it. I understand it. Sharks are fucking terrifying, man. I mean, they are the stuff of nightmares, all right? I mean, I remember all the stories of Jaws. People wouldn't sit on the fucking toilet, for God's sakes, dude. I mean, I get it, all right? I understand that shit. Even my mother and father one time, they went out on a date to see Jaws. True story, man. And my father, it's one of the only times my mother has told me that my father actually jumped. Dead serious. There was the moment when the head comes out, you know, from the water, the decapitated head, and my father fucking flipped his lid. Dude, he was like, oh shit. And I'm like, yeah, Jaws is still really effective to this day, man. And movies like Sharkbait just aren't, dude. They're just aping off of better stuff, but not doing it half as good. And tries to bring in the whole, like, hey, you know, we're teens, cool shit, and these stupid victims getting killed in hopefully gruesome ways. And yeah, that's kind of entertaining, but it loses its luster pretty goddamn fast, man. It really does. It's a shame, but we just can't really do shark movies as good as we used to. And we just have to admit that shit. I mean, look, Shark Week is a huge business, makes tons of money, man. And I get that sharks are still something that is a huge moneymaker, so why not keep on making the goddamn things? But at a certain point, with any horror subgenre, sharks included, there's a few good movies out there, and the rest are frankly trash. And Sharkbait, well, proves the point yet again. It really honestly does, man. The only thing I can hope for is stupid teens getting killed and dying so that, honestly, I don't have to breathe the same fucking air as them. Maybe some chicks with big boobs? Ah, yes. There we go. Tick. Gruesome shark attacks? Well, hopefully tick. Stupid characters? Oh, man, of course. Oh, Lord. Recipe for success, I suppose, in the age of the new era of shark movies. Sure. Well, I think I'll stick with the old-time classics, because honestly, it floats my boat better than seeing TikTokers die in gruesome ways. Then again, that is satisfying in its own unique way, I will admit.
Unfortunately, if you live long enough, you'll die in a shitty found footage flick, and thus, we have Dashcam.
Oh, man. From Blumhouse. Ah, yes. The studio that has brought us many gems. But then again, they can't all be winners. Oh, they sure as hell can't, man. That's for goddamn sure, dude. So, look, I watched this on Amazon Prime. Now, it's interesting because Blumhouse, if you know anything about them, basically they like to produce low-budget horror flicks and make a shitload of money off of it. And basically their model is, if we do it at a cheap enough price, but still have a decent amount of pizzazz to it and actors and quality, then we'll still make the money back plus extra. So we're banking cash like a mofo, man. And they've done it successfully over the years for quite a lot of movies, man. And I give them a lot of credit. But then again, not everyone succeeds at the game. Now, they've released a lot of these horror films on Amazon, a lot of ones that are going straight to streaming. And I've watched a few of them. They haven't been half bad. Like, there was one horror flick about, like, this killer bingo hall, which I watched with my girlfriend, and she was like, really? And I was like, what? Wasn't that bad? And it was alright, dude, but I get it. I could see why they made this low budget stuff and sort of put it onto Amazon. You know, hey, not everyone can be theater worthy, put it that way. And Dashcam happens to be one of them, dude. Now look, I was willing to give it a chance because, in all honesty, I do like found footage. I mean, found footage is not really that bad. It gets a bad name because of a lot of ones that have come out in recent years that hasn't been up to snuff. But there's been a lot of really great ones out there. You look at, obviously, the Blair Witch Project. You look at The Last Broadcast, which is phenomenal. If you haven't seen The Last Broadcast, please do it. It is so effing good, man. And there's so many more out there that are really fantastic, really well worth your time. And obviously one of the biggest ones that really made a splash, one of the most influential within the found footage genre that made it mainstream, one that I actually really appreciate and love. This one, man, still to this day, I think is really, really effective. And that, oh yes, is none other than good old Cloverfield. Ah, yes, baby. Cloverfield. Come on. I can't talk about the found footage genre without talking about Cloverfield. It was literally something that, you know, as far as Blair Witch was concerned, it really brought it to a lot of people that had never seen found footage, but it wasn't this mainstream blockbuster. Cloverfield really, I don't want to say perfected the found footage genre necessarily, but it brought it to the masses in a way that Blair Witch kind of did, but not entirely. But Cloverfield really succeeded in that, and it really showed what you could do with the found footage genre within this big blockbuster studio atmosphere. And I thought they did it brilliantly, man. They did it absolutely phenomenal. I love the mystery, the intrigue, the sci-fi, the horror elements. I thought it was played perfectly. Yeah, some stupid characters from time to time, but I thought it was really well done for the most part and pretty well executed. Found footage is not easy to pull off, and especially when doing something like this, I thought, man, they really did way better than they had any right to. And actually, it's still effective to this day, which says a hell of a lot. Because a lot of those found footage films, I hate to say it, hasn't always aged as well as they'd like to. But Cloverfield, actually kind of has, crazy enough, man. It really is that damn good. And on top of that, you also have to remember that with the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic out there, with the quarantine and everything, there has been a lot of movies that have taken advantage of the COVID-19 lockdowns, the quarantines, the stories behind it. And some movies have been able to really run with that in a very interesting and satisfying way to the film's benefit. And some have actually, I think, actually become pretty damn good stories overall. You look at something that I really love, a movie that is really phenomenal, and that is Songbird. Songbird, yes, it doesn't outright say the COVID-19 pandemic, but it ends up actually kind of spinning its own sort of quarantine pandemic, not outright saying COVID, but pretty much implying it, man. Really solid movie that I really do dig. Way better than it had any right to be. Even in the found footage genre, they've utilized it with a movie like Host. So you have found footage, you have the COVID-19 pandemic quarantine. Combining the two, there have been successes, there have been misses. And with Dashcam, they actually combined the two together to make, well, they were hoping something satisfying, but it turns into, oh man, one of the most frustrating watches I've ever seen in my fucking life. So let me explain. Let me try to break this down to the best that I possibly can, man, because this movie, dude, man, I was sitting there and there were moments where I wanted to turn this goddamn thing off, man. I was this fucking close to doing it, man. I was really close because I just couldn't stand this fucking bitch of a character. Oh my god. I mean, the rest of the movie is not too bad, all things considered. It's got its problems, don't get me wrong, but it's serviceable for what it is. It's the main character that I seriously cannot stand, that literally makes my blood boil. Oh man, I really fucking hated this bitch. God, I did, man. She's just annoying to the nth degree, man. At every fucking turn, at every fucking corner, she's always gotta espouse some sort of fucking opinion about COVID-19, whether finding it a hoax, whether calling the people who believe in it idiots, or, you know, spouting some sort of fucking crazy conspiracy theory, which is absolute bullshit. I mean, look, if you don't believe in it, that's fine, understandable, I get it, that's your own prerogative, right? But to the people that do believe in it, don't shit on them because they're wearing a mask. Don't shit on them because they're social distancing, or the fact that they've taken the booster shots or the vaccine. I mean, this chick at every single corner, at every single moment, is just really trying to undermine the whole thing and spouting her stupid ass opinions. And at a certain point, I was like, I don't give a shit about your opinions. If that's the only thing you have as a character, if that's the only personality that you have as a human being, is hating on the government and hating on COVID-19 because you think it's fucking cool to do that, if that's your only thing, your only redeeming quality as a character, that's not even a fucking quality, okay? She is grating. She is annoying. She is an absolute fucking twat, okay? That is who this chick is, alright? And not only is she spouting all these crazy theories and calling people idiots and lambs and sheep and dumbasses. Wow, boy, real courageous woman doing that, man. She's got balls, alright. I mean, that's annoying in and of itself, right? If you don't like something, then just shut up about it. But the fact that you have no other redeeming quality as a character other than the shit on other people, man, that's not a quality. On top of that, she has this YouTube channel where she's literally rapping. Now, what I mean by rapping is she's freestyling at every single corner. I guess she's doing these live streams, riding around. People are giving her money and telling them their name so she could rap their name into her freestyle. And I'm like, what is going on here? She's just annoying for the sake of being annoying. Brandon, oh yeah, we got random. Oh yeah, we got freedom, random. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Is this who this character is? This character doesn't have a fucking personality to save their fucking lives whatsoever. All their personality is they have a live stream YouTube channel where they rap weird individuals' names into their freestyles and they hate on the COVID-19 pandemic. That's it. They don't have any other redeeming quality as a character, no other personality traits whatsoever. Their character is simply there to be an annoying fucking cunt. All right, that's it. That's all she is. And it got on my every fucking iota of a nerve, man. I was like, I'm done with this chick. And I wanted her to die. I wanted them to pull a Psycho. And what I mean by that is, following a certain character to a certain point, killing them off suddenly, and then focusing on another character. That's what I wanted, because I just couldn't stand this character anymore. But then Blumhouse is like, oh, wait. You thought she was annoying now? Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet, motherfucker. I'm like, shit. Fucking hell, dude. Because she survives through the whole fucking movie. Man, at every fucking turn, at every fucking moment, all this crazy shit is happening because she goes overseas to see her friend, right? And of course she's ranting, the COVID-19 pandemic over there, man, the scamdemic, they're all sheep over there. And then other people are trying to be more cautious with it, and she's just bitching and moaning about it constantly. Oh, great, that's just what I want to hear from a character. And she decides to go off on her own. She has these misadventures, and this one woman is saying, hey, by the way, can you take this lady with you? This chick is clearly sick. There's something wrong with her, man. I don't know what's up, but man, she don't look good, man. She needs a doctor or an exorcist. I don't know what the fuck. Man, this chick is in all serious kinds of trouble. And so she has to take her a certain way for a certain amount of money. And weird shit starts to happen. Like, this chick is, bleeding from her mouth. She starts to attack people. She's talking, like she's a demon or some shit. And all the while, this woman, this annoying fucking YouTuber live streamer, is literally like, whoa, oh my god, the crazy shit is happening. Oh my god, what's happening here? This is nutty. Are you seeing this? Whoa. And I'm like, oh my god, how much longer do I have to deal with this? It was really grating on me. Oh man, it felt like a literal like cheese grater was like really scraping my fucking eyes out. Oh, it was so bad, dude. On top of that, right? I mean, that's bad as it is, all right? This chick is just fucking like live streaming her fucking reactions and literally just going bonkers and nuts, and she's like, oh my god, she took the virus and now the COVID-19 virus is coming out of her and now she's losing it and she's turning into a zombie. Oh my god. I'm like, whoa, god. Oh, okay. Okay, breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, you can get through this, Seth. Like, oh man. Her friend comes back into the picture, tries to help her out. There's crazy like webcam stuff where it's trying to follow the crazy chick around, and all the found footage stuff of like you can kind of see something happening in the background but not really. And then not only is the chick grating in this movie, right? Because that would be bad enough. But the idea that the movie pulls the same old found footage crap that you've seen so many times before, but not doing it nearly as clever, right? So all this stuff is happening. There's like car chases, then there's car wrecks, and there's characters that are running away from God knows what. And all the while the camera is like, we gotta go! Oh my god, we gotta run! Oh my god! What the hell is that? Holy shit! And it's like, wow, I can't see a fucking thing in this movie, dude. I don't know what's happening. The crazy chick is just going around and jumping on trees and floating in the air and messing up cars and killing people, and all the while the camera is just going so crazy and nuts that you can't see any fucking thing of it. And you're just kind of trying to look, you're like, what is going on right now, man? I mean, not only is the chick annoying, but I can't see a fucking thing because they're doing this whole like shaky cam shit so that it looks eerie and oh my god, real world situations where oh my god, the camera is messed up, you can't quite see what's going on, all the horror, oh the unknown, and I'm like, no, dude, it's just fucking annoying for annoying's sake. That's all it fucking is, dude. And you get frustrated because not only do you hate this fucking cunt of a bitch, because boy, this chick's a real winner, but not only that, but you can't even see what the fuck is going on. And at a certain point, you're losing interest because you're like, I don't care about any of these characters. I want all of them to fucking die, especially the fucking cunt. Oh boy, I want this twat to fucking die horribly. But you can't even see what's going on. There's this mystery intrigue with this woman that supposedly is possessed by some demonic entity, perhaps, but they don't really go into any explanation. And even some of the cool shit that they potentially could do in the movie, you don't even see it because the camera is so fucking shaky that, it just becomes, frankly, you start to feel like you're losing your fucking mind, dude. You start to feel like, oh shit, man, what's going on with me? How much more can I take of really crappy shaky cam, annoying characters that have zero fucking personality traits at all, and a movie that frankly is just more of a cock tease than even any satisfying horror flick that I can even name. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of Host. I had problems with Host. I had problems with that movie, and I had problems with the fact that, some of those characters were real stupid and doing stupid, idiotic things, and sometimes you couldn't see what was going on with the camera, but at least there was a certain cohesiveness to that movie. There was a certain amount of characterization and interesting horror elements that kept you sort of intrigued. This movie doesn't intrigue you. It's an annoying movie from the first minute all the way to the last. You don't even know what happens at the end of the movie. The annoying chick somehow, some way gets caught, trapped, something happens to her, but honestly, your guess is as good as mine, because I don't know what the fuck happened to her, man. And then the movie just ends, the credits are rolling, and oh, guess what we get at the end of the credits? The entire credits, by the way. We get her rapping the crew's name, right? Every single crew member, she raps their names. And I'm like thinking to myself, oh my god, this chick is annoying. And you've made her even more fucking annoying through the end credits. Like, I thought it was going to be kind of eerie and, ooh, like, almost like what's going on, and there's some sort of eerie imagery that's going on in the end credits. No, it's just the annoying chick doing annoying freestyling and making me even more pissed off that I spent a fucking hour and a half of my life watching this fucking garbage, dude. God damn, man. I am so pissed at this movie. I am so pissed at Blumhouse for making this garbage, dude. And look, I am a fan of Blumhouse. I really love what they do, and I really love how they handle horror for the most part. But there are certain times where they fall flat on their fucking face, and Dash Cam is one of those moments, dude. I mean, look, there is certain moments where I look at a horror movie and I say, why was this thing even made? Dash Cam is one of those instances. And it just baffles me because, look, the found footage genre has kind of run its course at this point, right? It has, and there's still maybe some stuff you can do with the genre, but honestly, the good stuff has passed us by, man. Blair Witch, The Last Broadcast, Cloverfield, and a lot of other movies that have come and gone, they've been pretty decent at moments. And they really invented a new subgenre within horror that movies have definitely taken advantage of. But now we're at a point where if you're not going to do anything interesting or useful with it, if you're not going to give us an intriguing story with some really great horror elements, a movie that we can really invest ourselves in, then what's the fucking point, man? You're just making a movie for making a movie's sake, and you're not even putting any fucking effort into it. And Dashcam is one of those movies that I just felt frustrated, I felt annoyed, and I felt like my time was completely 100% fucking wasted, dude. This movie is absolute fucking hot garbage, dude. It is absolutely a fucking train wreck. where you can't invest yourself in any character, in any situation. You don't understand what the fuck is going on to save your life. And unfortunately, at the end of this movie, I just lost faith in found footage. I lost faith in this subgenre of horror. And if this is the type of shit that Blumhouse is putting out straight to streaming, then dude, why even fucking bother, man? This is bullshit to the nth degree, man. I hated, and I'm seriously saying this, I hated this fucking movie, man. You know, look, man, there's movies that I can point to that can say, hey, I don't like this movie, but at least there's some redeeming fucking quality in this goddamn thing. There is nothing. This chick is a literal fucking bitch. And she has no redeeming quality whatsoever. No personality as a character that you can even grasp onto. You can't see a fucking thing that's going on. There's an intriguing idea of demonic possession, but it goes absolutely fucking nowhere, dude. There's way better movies out there to watch. Do not, and I'm seriously saying this, man, do not waste your time with this movie, because you're gonna feel frustrated just like I am, dude. You really will. This movie is an absolute waste of everyone's fucking time, dude. I ended up putting myself on the sword. I died on the sword for you guys, because honestly, about 20 minutes into this movie, maybe even 10 minutes, I wanted to bounce. I wanted to leave, dude. I was like, dude, I want to get out of this fucking movie so badly. So incredibly fucking badly. But I stayed. And I think I stayed only because, you know what, I wanted to see this through. Maybe it's going to get better. Maybe there's some redeeming quality to this movie. No, there isn't. It's just absolute bullshit from top to fucking bottom, man. And this is absolutely no recommendation. I would rather watch Spring Breakers get eaten by sharks 10,000 fucking times over than watch this garbage ever fucking again. I would watch Barb and Star with my eyes open, Clockwork Orange style, 100 times over before I ever watch this piece of shit ever again, man. Never, and I mean never experience this, because you know what? Some horror movies just really make me pissed off that this is the shit that is being made within the horror genre nowadays, and Dashcam is a fucking embarrassment to the horror genre. I hate this fucking movie to the nth degree, and if I could destroy every fucking living copy in the world of this movie, I'd fucking do it in a heartbeat, man. God damn, this movie really fucking pissed me off, and I hope I never fucking have to see it ever again in my life, because if I do, if I see a copy that's a free copy that I can get, I'm gonna fucking put it in the goddamn fucking fire and watch it burn to fucking ashes, man. God, I hated this fucking movie, man. It's movies like that that make the horror genre not worth it. The horror genre is amazing, it's awesome, but it's movies like this that's a fucking embarrassment to it, and I fucking hate it on every fucking level, man. God damn, dude, I really just fucking hate it, man. Look, I love the indie weirdness. I love the indie oddities, but this week, well, it definitely takes the cake in a big, bad motherfucking way. When going on a getaway with your mistress, make sure there isn't any homicidal whack jobs in the area. It does help. Spring Breakers versus Sharks. Shit, you never really had a chance, did you? However, if this was the 90s and you had Pauly Shore with you, maybe a little bit. Well, at least you'd be wheezing the juice. And look, come on now, kiddies. Never accept rides from strangers, because you never know whether there's going to be a creature that wants to inhabit and possess your body. Didn't we all learn that when we were kids? Really? Jeez, I thought so, but apparently that's a big no. Oh man, the Walmart love is back in a big bad way. I don't know, man, but it's back. And God help us all. Oh, baby, God help us indeed, man. Good Lord, man. That was definitely a handful, wasn't it? Oh, it indeed was. But that's the indie love for you, man. Good, bad, Walmart, ugly. Hey, it's all worth showing off in the most epic way possible, and I love doing it, guys. Hollywood blockbusters and the indie weirdness. I just can't help myself. And I know you can't either, guys. It's just too good to pass up. Any movie love is, especially the odd and bizarre ones. You know what I'm saying? I know you definitely do. Oh, you do indeed, guys. But hey, there is more movie love out there. There has to be. So why don't we go check it all? Oh, one left. Damn it. Didn't get it. Ugh. Yeah, don't eat bugs and try to multiverse at the same time. Something tells me it's just not going to work out quite well. Ugh. Let's go to the next location and hopefully uh, more multiverse madness without the bugs. All right, everybody, we are at our fourth and final location. And yeah, it's nice to see the new release goodies. Yes, it's nice to see the exclusive love from time to time if we can have it. But nothing ever beats a truly respectable bookstore. When it comes to physical media love, of course it does. And you know I love this one. Oh, I so do. I definitely dig it. Oh, and I know you do as well when we go into none other than Barnes and Nobles, baby. Yes, we are back in for the Barnes and Nobles goodness. What do we have in store? Well, hopefully the new release goodies we're showing off, and maybe one or two other things worth giving a look to. You never know. Barnes and Nobles tends to surprise from time to time with the physical media love, so let's hope they do it yet again. All right, everybody, we are back in at B&N for some new release goodies. I see a few. Let's dive in, shall we, with a little bit more of Downton Abbey goodness. Yes, please, sir. May I have some more? They have the 4K, they have the Blu-ray, they have the DVD. Very nice, man. And it can all be yours for $45. Whoa, holy cow, man. I mean, I love Downton Abbey, but shit, man, even I have my limit. But if you're a fan, trust me, anybody who loves anything very passionately, they will definitely pay the ducats for the goodness in their collection. And maybe you'll do the same for Downton Abbey, maybe. Let's be real, it is absolutely worth it. Downton Abbey has been really absolutely phenomenal. Just the movies alone have really been a nostalgic trip back to an old school era that I love revisiting. I just really do, man. And this just has a wealth of great moments and characters and opportunities that just really hit you in the nostalgic feels, especially if you're a history buff, a British history buff from way back in the day. And this series has really tickled that itch. It really has, man. And I guess the biggest question now for a lot of people out there, fans, myself included, is this the end? Was this literally the last adventure that we get to see with the Downton Abbey crew? Well, if you speak to Julian Fellows, he tends to think so. He really does, actually. There was an interview with him while the movie was out, and he was talking about the film and if he's really satisfied with the final project and if there's going to be anything extra, and he said that he's happy with it. He's satisfied with what he got to do on this series and the creativity and the characters, and there's a certain sense of finality with this film that he's okay with. Then again, it's not like he completely shut the door, because he did end up saying, hey, by the way, if the actors and the fans are kind of wanting more, if they have that itch that needs to be scratched, he doesn't mind telling more stories. So I think that's not exactly a closing of the door fully, but it is also a little bit of an admission of like, hey, by the way, yeah, I could be done with this and be over, and I'm happy with where it went, and I'm satisfied, and I don't need to technically do anything more. Okay, fair enough, that's true. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I think every series, good, bad, indifferent, I think at a certain point they have to end, right? They just really honestly do. And it's not the fact that you don't want to see more stories, it's just the fact that there's nothing really more to tell. You've spun your wheels as long as you can possibly spin them, and doing anything more kind of feels a little bit pointless. I'm not saying that we're here with Downton Abbey, but I'm saying that if we were to end it here, if this was the be-all end-all, I'm happy with it. I have no problems with it. I'm actually satisfied with the journey. And yes, there will always be more adventure that you can think of in your mind with the family moving ahead within the eras and certain characters that will grow and experience new things in their lives, but the old crew has kind of settled and their adventures is not exactly coming to an end, but moving on and handing the baton over to the new generation, the new people who are going to carry it on. And I think that's one of the great things I love about this movie, because there is a certain sense of letting things go, letting the past go, and yet at the same time embracing for the future and what lies ahead, and how even though one thing ends, there's definitely an excitement for the beginning of something new and where that may take you. And I really love this, man. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's incredibly well acted, well dramatized, and to me, Downton Abbey has been a really great surprise of a series. It truly has, man. I mean, like I said, I'm not completely through it yet. I've got a long while to go. But I'm excited to see where the rest of the TV series goes. I'm loving the characters. I'm loving the journeys. And there's nothing that's ever going to really be like Downton Abbey again, really. I mean, if you think about it, there just isn't at the end of the day. And that's just the honest truth, man. There are certain TV shows that end up really translating in a spectacular way. It's not like they're exactly meant to, but they just grab people's attention in that perfect moment where everything comes together and the show becomes an instant hit and an instant phenomenon. And Downton Abbey became that, man. I don't know if we'll ever see anything like it again. I mean, maybe Bridgerton might be one of those ones that come down the line that could surprise and be something like a Downton Abbey. Kind of a long shot, but not out of the realm of possibility, perhaps. I mean, there is certain things out there that has been really amazing for a lot of fans of British dramas over the years. I mean, you look at something like Call the Midwife. As I've said before, my girlfriend really loves Call the Midwife. But again, was it ever as popular as Downton Abbey? No. Good. Well, at least my girlfriend attests to it. But I don't think it will ever capture people the way that Downton Abbey did. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many others out there, whether it's Jamestown or Emma, or you look at Grantchester, Inspector Lewis, Midsummer Murders. I mean, there's so much really great British stuff out there. And all of it is really great and really solid and really amazing, and there's nothing wrong with it. But some of it is really great in its own sort of niche-y way, but will never really capture the phenomenon that Downton Abbey did. And for that, I give it a lot of respect. There's not many TV shows, if you really even think about it, that go from TV shows to movies. Very few have ever actually done that. You look at something like The X-Files, obviously, or even Firefly doing that movie Serenity, and there's a couple other examples here and there, but the fact that this show was so popular that it spun off into movies, it's a big, huge rarity, man. And for that, and just the fact that this movie really captured people's attentions and imaginations, and they really fell in love with the characters. Nowadays in TV, it's so hard to do that. There's so many algorithms, and there's so much pleasing the investors, and, well, if we don't get too many people streaming it, well, we've got to cancel it before it ever really gets popular. And unfortunately, a lot of shows get cut off way too soon, way too fast, and I'm glad that Downton Abbey was never really part of that generation. And I'm glad that it was able to breathe and really tell a unique and interesting story with very vibrant and unique characters. And for that, it gets my respect. It gets my full appreciation. It really honestly does, man. I hope we haven't seen the last of the Downton Abbey crew. I would love to see more adventures. Some characters have come and gone. Other characters, unfortunately, have passed on to the afterlife. But new characters come, and new adventures would very much be ahead, and I would definitely be up for it. Hell, I think my mother would be up for it, man. I mean, she definitely dug the movie, and I could see her going back for more. I definitely could. And you want to know what? I'd be right alongside with her. Absolutely I would, man. Downton Abbey, baby. There will never be anything really like it for many, many years, if ever again, to come. And I'm glad I was there to experience some of the goodness. Oh, indeed I am, baby. Oh, look at that. Some great special features. I mean, tons of featurettes, feature commentary. Not bad, man. Not bad at all. The legacy continues. Look, if this is the end, it is a satisfying end, fit for a family that, honestly, went through a lot of trials and tribulations, heartaches and joys. And I'm glad that I was there to experience the adventure and be alongside them every step of the way. So, he remembers how to kick ass, but not what day of the week it is? Well, at least he remembers the important parts. In memory. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, goodness gracious, man. You know, what makes this movie even half as good as it's supposed to be, because it really shouldn't even be even really all that good, is Martin Campbell. That's who makes this movie somewhat intriguing and somewhat interesting. He's the one that makes this worth watching. He is a really solid director, man. He is a guy that really gets my respect in a big bad way. I mean, anything that he does, I will at least give a watch to, because that guy has done some phenomenal movies. I mean, you have to remember, he is the only director to successfully reboot Bond not once, but twice. GoldenEye and Casino Royale, man. And let's be real, both of those movies are really fantastic. Really, really good, man. Some of the best Bond that is out there indeed. And he directed it, man. That is pretty damn solid. However, let's not forget that he's done some other really fantastic movies out there, like The Mask of Zorro. Oh, yes. Man, that has got to be one of the best modern day adaptations of Zorro that will ever be. I love that movie. Antonio Banderas kills it as Zorro. I love Anthony Hopkins in that movie, and Catherine Zeta-Jones. Man, that was like the first time I ever saw Catherine Zeta-Jones on screen, and damn, she was gorgeous. She electrified. Dude, that is a really fantastic movie. He also directed No Escape with Ray Liotta. That is a really great, cult classic. Underrated gem, maybe, but a lot of sci-fi nerds, kind of like myself, really, really dig that movie. Of course, he did The Foreigner with Jackie Chan, which is really amazing as well. Actually, a really solid film. Actually, way better than I think people give it credit for. Then again, he also directed Green Lantern. So, you know, nobody's perfect. But I think he's still a really phenomenal director that has done some really fantastic work, man. And he does his best to work with what he has, essentially. I mean, think about this. Liam Neeson is in this film. Liam Neeson is old, alright? He can't really do the action like he used to. I'm just being real. He can't do it, man. And I think Martin Campbell kind of knows that. So he's trying to make the action believable, but yet still make it exciting at the same time with Liam. And I do kind of appreciate that. Like, this is not something like Blacklight, okay? Where, like, Blacklight was really way ridiculous. Like, there's no way Liam Neeson was gonna be doing some of that shit, okay? I mean, even here, there's a little bit of a stretch to it, but you can somewhat buy into it. And I think that's because of Martin Campbell really trying to do his best to make it work for Liam Neeson's age and what they're trying to accomplish, and he kind of pulls it off. Not really, but the best he possibly can. It ain't half bad, all things considered. But again, the movie works in moments because of Martin Campbell, because if it wasn't for him, I think this movie would be a complete and utter dumpster fire. There ain't no doubt about it, man. I mean, he still can't overcome a shitty script and a lot of convoluted, complicated shit that just really shouldn't have even been there in the first place. but he does his best with what he's given. I mean, it ain't Bond, but was it ever trying to be? That's very true, man. Look, Martin Campbell absolutely has my respect, no doubt about it. He's not perfect, the resume doesn't always shine, but when it does, man, it does in a big, bad motherfucking way. Can't say Memory is gonna be one of the ones he's remembered for, but hey, compared to some of the other recent Liam Neeson flicks, well, it ain't that bad. I'll put it that way, man. Oh, Liam. Let me tell you, man, you should head towards retirement, but something tells me that these are the only roles that you're getting. But if you team with Martin Campbell, they may end up being just a little bit acceptable. Something tells me that's not going to happen forever. I'll take Memory for what it is, because honestly, I've seen a hell of a lot worse.
And this is what it's like when worlds collide. You're going with me, you're going with me, everything all at once.
Oh, you like my hard rock rendition, baby? I hope you do, man. Oh, Lord. Everything, everywhere, all at motherfucking once, baby. Oh, indeed. Oh, man. The multiverse madness. Oh, indeed it is, man. And you want to know what, man? Multiverse is like a huge thing now. It is so popular. Everybody is getting into it. Well, technically, a lot of people have gotten into it for a long time. You're just getting hip to it now. Ah, yes, indeed you are. You're finally catching up to the trend, folks. Congratulations. Congratulations indeed. Because there's a lot of people that have done it for a long while. I mean, yes, Marvel is just starting to do some of that stuff now. We've seen Avengers Endgame do it. Of course, Spider-Man No Way Home. Hell, Sony even got into the love with Into the Spider-Verse. Oh, so damn good, man. But what about the love from back in the day, man? What about Star Trek? Star Trek has actually been doing that, alternate worlds and realities, for a really, really long time, man. Even in the movies, as recent as Star Trek 09 and Star Trek Into Darkness, they were doing that stuff, dude. So, I mean, they've been doing it for a really, really long time. You even look at something like Stargate SG-1. Oh, man, I love SG-1, dude. I really do. Oh, that's so good. And they played in the alternate universe realm for a really, really long time. And they did it rather brilliantly. In fact, most sci-fi usually goes into that in some form, one way or another, which is very intriguing and interesting. But even kids' films get into it, like Coraline. Yes. If you remember, Coraline definitely did deal with parallel and alternate universes. Indeed. Actually, it was pretty clever. I kind of dug that. Even horror comedies get that type of love with Happy Death Day to You. If you remember, the killer was from the alternate reality. Yes. Yeah, thought you forgot about that one, didn't you? But I reminded you. Oh, indeed I did, man. And there's so many more that's really great out there. Mr. Nobody with Jared Leto. It was kind of an art house film, but it had its multiverse moments. You even look at something like The Butterfly Effect with Ashton Kutcher. In fact, truth be told, probably the only film I actually really like Ashton Kutcher in, all things considered. So it is memorable for something, man. No, but honestly, it is a really great movie where he just keeps going to these alternate realities where certain decisions were made and how his life would be different and the people that he knew or didn't know. It's a wild film. Really dramatic, very horrifying, but really, really well done, actually. I love the concept to that. Even action gold like The One from 2001, Jet motherfucking Li. Yes. Oh, man, I love that. Where, like, the evil Jet Li is trying to kill all of the different variants in the other universes to become The One. I love that shit. It's really great, man. I think it's one of Jet Li's best films, man. I dig the hell out of that movie. It's so great. Even a little romance drama with Sliding Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow. Oh man, 1998. I remember that shit. It's really good. Basically, it's like either she gets on the train, she gets home early, and she finds her boyfriend cheating on her, and so she dumps him and gets a better life, or she misses the train, gets a later train in order for the girlfriend to not find out he's cheating, and kind of becomes suspicious and her life spirals out of control. Interesting sort of life choices, alternate realities where things either work out or they get messed up. I think it's really well done. Actually, brilliant. Pretty well executed, all things considered, man. Not a half-bad film. Kind of a little bit forgotten, actually, but go back and watch that. It's really solid, man. And I kind of feel like Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is a melting pot of everything sort of coming together. The action, the drama, the romance, the horror, the comic booky sequences, like everything works to the film's benefit. It's like a hodgepodge of all these ideas just melting your brain all at once. And I think it's fucking fascinating as shit, man. I really honestly do, dude. This movie, okay, truth be told, as I said earlier, it has no right to work whatsoever. This thing should be a complete clusterfuck of confusion. And maybe in some ways it kind of is, but it's a fascinating clusterfuck. It really is. It is really phenomenal, intriguing, and I loved just every single bizarro second of it, and I think it's amazing. The directing, the acting, the effects, the fight choreography, the sequences, the different alternate realities and how it's played to its absolute most fullest craziness expectations. It is nuts. And I think this is like the culmination of every sort of multiverse nuttiness you can ever think of, man. And I think it's absolutely brilliant. It really is, man. God, this movie is going to be talked about for years. Film schools are going to talk about this movie, man. Film nerds are going to dissect this thing like a frog in high school, okay? They really honestly are, and rightfully so, because it's just that damn good, man. It really honestly is. There are certain movies that have no right to work out whatsoever. There is films that literally are a conundrum because they're like, wait a minute, this thing should be an absolute mess of a film, man. It shouldn't even work out at all. But yet at the same time, you're just fascinated by the brilliance of how crazy and weird and bizarre it all gets. And yet somehow there's still a really great heartfelt message in there that really ties it all together. It's, dude, I keep saying brilliant, but it really honestly is, man. This movie is amazing in every single aspect, and it deserves to be celebrated. And I'm damn glad that it has found an audience to do that, simply because it needs to be appreciated on every fucking level. I mean, literally, and I'm not even lying, there was a Target employee that talked to me, this was like a month or so back. He talked to me about this movie, and he was talking to me about nihilism and death and the beginning of life and the universe, and it was such a wild conversation. And at first I didn't really think anything about it. I was like, okay, nihilism. I was like, what's going on here? And then I watched the movie, I'm like, oh my god, I get it. You can break this movie down in so many ways, shapes and forms, and it's just that fascinating of a piece of art that it really truly is, man. There's not many movies out there that you can really say are art anymore. They're great pieces of entertainment, but not exactly art. This is art, and it needs to be appreciated exactly for that. That is for damn sure, man. God, yes, it is entertaining, but it is artful, and it is impactful, and it deserves all the admiration that it will ever receive, baby. Look at all of these special features, audio commentaries, a bunch of featurettes, nice theatrical trailer, outtakes, some good shit on here, man, and deservedly so, because it really is just an absolute bonkers movie, but it's just absolutely intriguing in its execution. And man, I don't think we're ever going to see anything like this in our lifetimes ever again. If we do, be very thankful, because if it's half as good as this movie, it definitely deserves all the love that it will ever get. That is for damn sure, man. God, what an amazing piece of work this is. It truly is. And amazing for Barnes and Nobles. Look at this. The new release Love's definitely on display, and they did a damn good job of it. Not bad, but is there anything else worth diving into? Oh, indeed we do, with little Criterion Love, especially when it's 50% off. Yes, the 50% love is already off to the races, baby. And they have definitely quite the selection and variety. Now, we will dive into the Criterion Love, all of it, in another video. But I have come to check out one Criterion title that I know came out this week, and one that deserves a lot of love, and that is Okja. Yes, baby. Oh, look at that. The Blu-ray, they've got the DVD, and they've got the 4K love as well. So whichever you want, Barnes & Noble is supplying all the goodies, baby. Oh, indeed they are, man. And I got a chance to watch this on Netflix because, well, that's where it premiered, and that's where it is currently. You can watch it right now on Netflix if you have a Netflix subscription, but you know, there is always a physical love too. Just saying, man. But if you're looking to watch it first and you got that Netflix account, definitely utilize it, because this one is definitely worth exploring. Basically, it's about this little girl and the love that she has for this super pig called Okja. And this greedy evil corporation takes Okja away to do experiments, and basically she goes through this whole journey adventure to try to get Okja back. And I gotta admit, man, it's actually not a bad little movie, all things considered. It's about 2 hours long, but there's a lot of really great unique scenarios and characters and certain type of themes that really keep the movie going. And I thought it was actually pretty fascinating, all things considered, man. I mean, the acting alone is phenomenal here, and there is a lot of really great actors here. I mean, you've got Tilda Swinton, you've got Jake Gyllenhaal, Stephen Yeun, Paul Dano, and a lot of other actors in between, man. Everybody does an amazing job. It's sort of kind of set in the future, so to speak, but not really. Sort of like one of those fake futures and everything. And I love the CGI with the super pig, which I thought was really great. Actually, I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was kind of realistic, and I actually really bought into the relationship and the care that this little girl has for who she considers her best friend. She doesn't consider this super pig like a pet or anything, but as a true companion, and it really comes through in the movie in a big bad way. And I also really love the idea of evil corporations and sinister intentions and people doing their best to sort of save the day. I really do appreciate that stuff. I think the messaging is definitely there, man. And look, it's not like this is like the first ever evil corporation and them doing evil experiments and pretending to do good for the human race. We've seen that shit a time or two, man. I mean, Resident Evil uses that like a motherfucker. So it's not like it's breaking any new ground exactly, but I thought it was unique and interesting for what it was. I really honestly did, man. It's not a bad little movie, and I think Bong Joon-ho does a pretty good job directing this film. Makes you really believe in the connections and the relationships and the emotion. And there are some really great laughs and really hilarious moments in between that you can kind of enjoy and be entertained by as well. It's not bad, actually. I do kind of dig it. It's not my favorite Bong Joon-ho movie, to be fair. I mean, I really love Parasite, man. Parasite is fucking amazing, dude. And I gotta show a lot of love, and I mean truly a lot of love, for Memoirs of Murder, man, because it is really fantastic. I watched this, I bought it a long time back, watched it not too long ago, and damn did I love this. This is a really great movie, man. Way better than I think it had any right to be. But I gotta admit, I think my favorite, I think it has to be Snowpiercer, man. It still is. I don't know if it's ever gonna be beaten. I mean, Snowpiercer is so good, dude. But Bong Joon-ho is such a really great filmmaker. I mean, I even love a lot of his earlier work as well. So he's a really great, solid director. And at the end of the day, he really makes this a believable, lived-in world where you can take sort of the science fiction themes and really interpret it into this reality, and even related to a lot of things that goes on in today's world. I mean, especially with animal testing and the idea of the abuse of animals and what we do to them in order to further science in some ways, or even our own greed to that matter. Because, you know, my girlfriend, she ends up buying a lot of makeup products from these companies that don't do animal testing, and it's actually very important to her that she buys stuff that is not animal tested. And I gotta admit, at first, when she was telling me about it, I didn't quite understand it, or I didn't get it. I was like, well, what's the big deal exactly? And she was really talking to me about the abuse of these animals and what they go through with these trials, and I was like, whoa, really? And it really fascinated me, just the cruelty that goes into it. And the idea that this movie really explores it within a really great science fiction theme is something I truly did appreciate and love, man. And I think that's one of the great things about science fiction overall, is taking real life themes and real life dilemmas and tragedies and putting them into something that doesn't necessarily beat you over the head, but still gives you that messaging in a way that makes it entertaining and makes you really think about it. And I really love that, man, and I think he did a great job with this. I think Bong Joon-ho is a brilliant director, and in a lesser filmmaker's hands, I think this movie would have been a disappointment. But he really makes it fun, he makes it entertaining, adventurous. You really feel the connection between this animal and this little girl, and I think there's a lot of great acting, and I think it's just wonderfully told, man. Not perfect, it has its faults, it does feel a little bit long in the tooth at times, but I don't really fault it because they're really trying to tell a sprawling story, and I think for the most part they actually pull it off, man. Not half bad, man. If you've never experienced Okja, definitely do it, and if you're a fan of Bong Joon-ho, yet another one to add to the collection. Not bad, baby, not bad at all, man. Oh yes, the 50% Criterion love is going on, man. And they have all the goodies to definitely keep you satisfied as a Criterion lover. That is for damn sure, man. We'll get back to the love another week, but I just wanted to see whether they had it, and they did. And they didn't disappoint. Thank the Lord, baby. Thank the Lord indeed. Definitely love my BNN. Oh, indeed I do. Not half bad. Let's head out. You know what? As much as I have a problem with sometimes the pricing here at Barnes & Nobles, and trust me, it's insane at times, okay? A little overboard, just a wee bit. That being said, I can never say that I am disappointed by the physical media love that Barnes & Noble has, at least this one, because my God, man, they have the goodies. They have the physical media love, man. Oh, they truly do, baby. They absolutely do. And I give them a ton of credit. And this week, they did their due diligence yet again, man. The new release goodies and the Criterion love as well. And with the 50% Criterion sale going on, well, it is a good time to stop in and experience the physical love. You know what I'm saying? Oh, indeed it is, baby. Oh, not half bad. Always appreciate going into Barnes & Nobles and checking out the physical media goodies. It is always appreciated in a big bad way, especially from this physical media boy. Indeed it is, man. Hopefully for you as well. But enough of the Barnes & Noble goodness. I suppose we should now head home and finish the video. All right, everybody. That'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And, oh, yeah, it was an adventure this week. It was indeed, man. Oh, Lord. You know, we went to a lot of places that had really great media, very plentiful. And then again, we went to other places, not so much. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Wally World. Indeed I am. Well, at least the first one, because shockingly enough, I go into the Amish country Walmart. They actually have the new release gold, the exclusive goodies. They have that. Then I go into the second Walmart. Yes, they had the indie love, but you know what they also had? Yeah, the new release goodies and the exclusive love. So I have a feeling, just this odd hunch, that out of the entire world, all the Walmarts got all of the physical media love, but one store didn't get it. And it happened to be the one store in my fucking area. The one I actually film at. What a shocker. Oh, man. If it was only easy. Oh, boy, man. Let me tell you something, dude. It's just crazy ridiculous. That's why you do the out and abouts. You just don't know what to expect. Week to week, place to place. I guess that's part of the fun of it. And also the frustration. But, you know, I guess that's part of the adventure, too, isn't it? I suppose so. At the end of the day, we did see all the physical media love, so I guess it doesn't matter, but get your shit together, Walmart. Oh, get your shit together. Oh, man. But still, a lot of really great stuff out there. Yes, some stuff that we didn't see, but mind you, my Best Buy is still closed, so, Hey, man. It can't all be roses, but one of these days it'll open up back up again, and when it does, new release gold will be in store indeed. But patience will eventually pay off in that aspect. But hey, for the most part, we saw all the physical media goodies, and that cannot be beat. And there's a lot of stuff out there for movie lovers, so if you picked up something good, definitely let me know. As far as I'm concerned, well, yeah, I picked up a couple things. Indeed I did, man. The first thing I actually got, now, I was sort of waving back and forth whether I was going to get this or not. Should I pick it up? Should I not? I really like it, but is it really worth having in the collection? And at the end of the day, I said, you want to know what? It kind of is, because I still really enjoyed the movie, and it is worth having a little bit of British English drama period piece love in the collection. Oh yes, you betcha, baby. When I picked up Downton Abbey, A New Era. Oh yes, indeed, man. I picked it up because I just really loved the movie. I really did, man. I thought it was a really great, pleasant surprise of a film, and I love the characters and the quirky humor and the setting, and I just really love this series. The first film was so solid, and going through the series right now, at least in the middle of season 1, I'm really loving it. So now that I picked this up, well, I kind of gotta go and get the first movie, and then eventually I'll have to get the actual TV show. More buy-in, but you know what? The hunt will always be worth it. So I guess I have to go hunting for a little Downton Abbey love. It'll be well worth it. Oh, indeed it will, man. It's just a really great feel-good movie at the end of the day, and I'm surprised. I guess I shouldn't be surprised how many people really love this movie, because when I was at Target, people were flying these copies off of the shelves, man. They were just grabbing them, whether it was the DVDs or the Blu-rays. And even at some of the other stores that I went to, going to the other Walmarts, and even when I left Barnes & Noble's, people were grabbing some of the copies of Downton Abbey. This is way popular than I ever imagined it was. I knew it was popular to a certain degree, because they wouldn't have made movies otherwise. But at the same time, I didn't realize the fan base was really that rabid because people really love this movie and they're going out of their way to buy the physical media copies. So I'm actually really happy to see that, man. We always think of these big franchises like, you know, the Marvel stuff and the DC, Star Wars, Star Trek as being the main attractions when it comes to franchises. Sometimes it's really simple period piece dramas that people really love and really dig, and I can see why. The show and the movies are just really infectious, and I just had a smile on my face the entire time watching this movie, and so did my mother. And so for me, this is a quintessential movie to have in the collection. Yes, it's not horror, it's not blood and guts and gore, comedy hijinks, but you want to know what, man? Sometimes you need a break from all that. Sometimes you need a little bit of period piece love, and this one definitely scratched the itch in a big bad way. I definitely dug this movie so much and might as well have it in the collection, all things considered. Trust me, you won't be alone, because eventually I'll get your other brethren. Eventually I will. Oh, eventually I will indeed. But there's nothing like a little Downton Abbey love. I know you agree with me. Oh, I know you do indeed, baby. Indeed. Oh, not bad to be picking that up this week. But I also picked up something else. And it's a little bit of a mystery with the Black Bag Mystery Love. Oh, yes, indeed. Now, this is a new release goodie. But what can it be exactly? I mean, is it new release Criterion goodness? Is it retail store new physical love? Is it an exclusive? Well, maybe, kinda, sorta. I mean, you don't know, but I definitely do. And you guys won't find out until my Blu-ray pickups video eventually for July. Oh my god, we're actually here in July already. Goodness gracious, dude. You won't find out exactly what I picked up until eventually when I drop that video. And man, this month is going to be kind of interesting. There's going to be a little bit of sprinkling of old nostalgia, new physical media goodies, a little bit of retro stuff, surprises along the way. Not incredibly plentiful for the month, but I am going to be picking up some very unique titles worth definitely showing off. So definitely stay tuned for that one indeed. But this one is one that definitely deserves to be in the collection. That is no doubt about that, baby. But, I mean, with a little bit of mysterious black bag goodness and some Downton Abbey love, I think as a physical media collector, I definitely had some decent variety this week. And before I let you guys go, I definitely got to talk about this. Now, look, I talked earlier about James Cameron and the idea of not really planning ahead like maybe he should have. Well, we're back with more Avatar goodness, because if you think that was the end of James Cameron, you're sadly mistaken. From Variety, James Cameron tells off Avatar haters, defends 3-hour Avatar runtime, get up and go pee. It is a good suggestion. Let's dive in, shall we? James Cameron's first Avatar movie clocked in at 162 minutes. That's nearly 2 hours and 40 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. And it sounds like the Oscar-winning director is going even longer for the upcoming sequel, Avatar: The Way of Water. According to Empire Magazine, the next Avatar movie is currently coming in at around 3 hours. Yes, that's 3 hours, folks. Oh boy, Cameron does not want to hear anyone complaining about the movie's runtime, though. I don't want anybody whining about the length when they sit and binge-watch television for 8 hours, Cameron told the magazine. I can almost write this part of the review, the agonizingly long 3-hour movie. It's like, give me a fucking break. I've watched my kids sit and do 5 one-hour episodes in a row. Here's the big social paradigm shift that has to happen. It's okay to get up and go pee. Well, yeah, maybe. Maybe. But if you're a true moviegoer, you're gonna hold it, baby. You indeed have. Hell, I've done it. Oh, man. Cameron also had strong words for moviegoers who continuously troll on the first Avatar movie. With 2.84 billion worldwide, That's with a B. Avatar stands as the highest grossing movie of all time, unadjusted for inflation. Even with that gross, plus 9 Oscar nominations and 3 wins, Avatar and its long-delayed sequel have become a punching bag for some cinephiles. The trolls will have it that nobody gives a shit, and they can't remember the characters' names or one damn thing that happened in the movie, Cameron said. Then they see the movie again and go, oh, okay, excuse me, let me just shut the fuck up right now. So I'm not worried about that. Oh, you're not, James? Well, seems like you kinda are. Just a wee bit. Oh, just a wee bit indeed, man. Okay, look, let's unpack this, alright? Because this is a tough sell for James Cameron, right? And even being in the movie theaters with the guys and seeing the Way of Water trailer before a movie, a lot of the guys have talked to me and said, look, man, I'm just not interested in this film, man. 13 years. And I think for them, they look at the first Avatar, and a lot of people do, and they say, it's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. It's a really solid film that has really amazing, eye-popping CGI, beautiful cinematography. The character designs are awe-inspiring, but at the same time, the story was a little lackluster. It felt like other things that you've seen before. There was a decent amount of originality, but not 100%. And at the same time, did it really wow you enough to keep you invested and interested in a sequel 13 years later, is really the thing about it. Was it that classic of a film that 13 years later, you're equally as excited for it as you were for the first movie? I don't entirely know if that's the reality of the situation. At least for me and a lot of the guys, we're not as interested as maybe we should be. I mean, think about this. To me, I was more excited by a movie like Clerks 2 coming out than I ever was about Avatar 2 now, or even Godfather Part 3, or hell, even the Matrix movie. I mean, that was a sequel that I thought, okay, I'm kind of anticipating to see what they're going to do, because Matrix is a brand and it's still maintained in the zeitgeist of cinema. Even though the movie was shit, I mean, I still was excited to check it out. The same thing with Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yeah, even though I didn't really love Afterlife, I have to admit that Ghostbusters is still relevant within movie fandom. And it never really went away. It didn't really fade. And Avatar is not one of those lasting brands. It really isn't. The first movie came and went, and it was revolutionary for the 3D, but 3D is no longer really around anymore in movie theaters. It's not relevant anymore. And so 3D sort of went the way of the dinosaur, and so did the lasting impact of Avatar at the end of the day. And so 13 years is a really long time to wait for a sequel that I don't really know if anybody at the end of the day was really asking for. So he is gambling big time here. He really honestly is, okay? And this article doesn't really help matters at all, because all he's doing in this article is complaining. He really honestly is, man. I mean, he's talking about, well, it's a 3-hour length of a movie, and he's talking about, oh, people are going to complain about that, and he's arguing about the television show stuff and people binging that, and he's not wrong about that. But here's the argument that I make against James Cameron here, is the fact that when you're at home, you can pause, you can grab a snack, you can go to the bathroom, you can do certain things, and you can come back to it maybe 5 minutes later, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, the next day. You could do that stuff and still feel like you're continuing the storyline and you haven't missed a beat. Here, when you're in a movie theater, sometimes it's not as easy to do that, man. I mean, seriously, you leave for 5 minutes to take a piss, and suddenly you come back and they're like, oh, you missed this really important scene, and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, are you fucking kidding me? And so you don't really want to do that. And also, let's be real, man, in a movie theater, you can't pause that shit. So you have to take a gamble on going to the bathroom when sometimes the gamble isn't always going to pay off for you. You're going to miss some crucial scenes that might be beneficial for you. And so I argue with James Cameron on that. But here's the other deal. James Cameron is like, well, it's only 3 hours. What's the big deal about that? And fair enough, right? But 3 hours is only worth it if the movie is as engaging for the entire 3 hours. You look at something like Avengers Endgame, right? You look at like the almost 3 hour runtime and it boggles your mind. But by the time that movie ended, you never even realized it was 3 hours. It went by so quick and so fast because you were entertained the entire runtime. And even something like, I'll go with James Cameron's Titanic. You know, to be honest with you, those 3 hours flew by. It really felt like nothing at the end of the day. And you were entertained enough with the characters and the drama and the destruction that, honestly, time passed like it was nothing. So I know that James Cameron can do a 3 hour epic. He's proven it before. But can he do it with Avatar? I mean, look, the visuals are going to be amazing here. The character designs are going to be stunning. Creatures are going to look absolutely phenomenal. There's no doubt about that, man. I mean, they ought to be. You've spent 13 years doing it. If they don't, boy, you're in big fucking trouble. I mean, seriously. But at the end of the day, all he's doing is complaining for the sake of complaining. And even when talking about the haters to your film and saying, oh, I can't remember anything, and oh, the movie's forgettable. And I understand that you're angry about that. And I understand that you want to get back at the haters. But going on a rant like this doesn't help your cause at the end of the day. It really honestly doesn't, because all you're doing is giving fuel to the fire to these people. And you know they're going to use it against you. And so, what was the purpose of this interview? Was the purpose for just to rant's sake? Because we're in July now. Okay? I mean, I hate to say it, but the fact that December is really right around the corner. These months are flying by. And you will eventually be on the interview train. You're going to have to defend this movie and talk about this film. And what are you going to say? Are you going to continue to be on this rant? Are you going to continue to hate on people that have really justifiable reasons that they might not like your movie? Whether they don't think it's really that memorable, or whether they really didn't think the story was that powerful or exceptional. I mean, are you really going to hate on those people? I mean, at the end of the day, as a filmmaker, you have to understand this. You have control of your movie up until it gets released. The moment that it gets released, when it's out there to the wide public, then it's really no longer yours. I mean, it's yours in the fact that you directed it, you put your heart and soul into it, and it will always be your baby in one way or another. And maybe I understand that, where he feels a certain sense of ownership for it, that he feels that he needs to defend it. Fair enough. But at the end of the day, once it's out there to the worldwide public at large, you no longer have control of it. It is up to the audience whether or not your film lives or dies, all right? I mean, it's literally like a jigsaw game, all right? It really is at the end of the day. Your movie is either going to sink or it's going to swim. And it's not even about the box office either, because there are many movies that tank at the box office, and eventually 10, 20, 30 years later, they will become a classic. They will become something that everybody is going to be like, this is an amazing movie, and it is a memorable film that stands the test of time. Forgetting the fact that it didn't make jack squat in the movie theaters. And there are some movies that win a ton of awards make a shitload of money, and are never really all that remembered. And you have no idea how many people I have seen on social media, YouTube, Facebook, who have talked about Avatar and have said, look, yeah, I have the movie on physical media. I bought it many years ago, and I haven't really watched it since. I don't really remember much about it. There are a lot of people like that out there, man. I don't think the movie is as classic or as memorable as James Cameron really thinks it is. I'm not saying that this movie isn't going to wow. I could go into the movie theater and be absolutely amazed by it. I really could be. And I can eat my words. And look, at the end of the day, I do remember Avatar, but it's not a movie that I really felt like I needed to revisit either. I may revisit it before the next movie comes out just to sort of refresh my memory, but at the end of the day, it's not a movie that I really felt an impulse to go back to either. And I feel like James Cameron wants to justify his movie. He wants to justify, look, it made all that money. It was incredibly popular for the time. So people need to shut up about it. And okay, fine, but you hating on other people, hating on your movie doesn't help you in general. And it hurts your movie at the end of the day. Maybe it doesn't hurt your brand exactly as a director, but it hurts your movie at the end of the day, because people see that article and they don't feel sympathy for you. This guy has a lot of money, he's won awards, he's a famous director. I don't think they're doing the crocodile tears for your ass, okay? They're really not. So, as a filmmaker, you need to be humble. You need to recognize that not everybody is going to love all of the stuff that I do. There are going to be a lot of people out there that are detractors, sometimes for the sake of being detractors. I'm not gonna lie, there are haters out there for the sake of being haters, because they just want to hate on everything, because they want to be contrarian. That's how the world works, man. And as they said in The Dark Knight, some people just want to watch the world burn, okay? That's just the truth, alright? But some people have legit concerns about your movie. Some people really feel like, look, it just wasn't all that great. It was okay, but it didn't exactly light the world on fire. And waiting 13 years, I hate to say it, but as a society, we are definitely of the moment. And what I mean by that is that you go back to 2009, Avatar was such a big movie, and it really floored at everybody, and people loved it, and they came back constantly for the visuals. And then that slowly, every single year, got chipped away more and more and more and more. And unfortunately, there's a certain window of opportunity to do a sequel, right? I've always said this. And some movies tend to buck that trend. Some do. Not all, but some actually do tend to buck the trend. And Avatar could be one of them, but again, it is one of those movies where 13 years pass and people, I don't really feel the excitement from people. I really don't. The trailer came out and people enjoyed the trailer, but it wasn't like this wow, oh my god thing. You remember certain trailers that are really amazing, like something, let's say Top Gun Maverick, right? Nobody was expecting another Top Gun sequel, right? Especially this many years later. But when you saw the trailer for that, the fighter jets and the music and Tom Cruise shirtless, you're like, yes, the baby oil is back. Oh, man. And so it was so exciting and it was amazing. And Top Gun is a movie that has really stayed in the zeitgeist of cinema for a really, 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 really effing long time, man. And so it just felt like one of those experiences where you're like, oh my god, this is an epic event. Top Gun is back. But really, at the end of the day, Top Gun never left. It's always stayed with us in one form or another. Literally, and I swear to God to you guys, there is an air conditioning company in my area, And the logo that they have is literally the Top Gun logo, but with their brand instead of Top Gun. And I'm like, literally, like, that still is around. It still is influential to this day, man. And so I just feel like Avatar hasn't had that certain amount of staying power. And that might be the ultimate downfall that James Cameron is going to have with this movie. And look, hating on a group of people for not liking your movie has never helped any filmmaker in the past. And it's not going to help any filmmaker now. And I understand the frustrations and I understand the dilemma where everybody is literally saying 13 years. But there are certain sequels that have not benefited from waiting a long time. You look at something like Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. The idea that came out over 10 years after the last film, were people really asking for it? No, but that first film was really popular and they felt like they really could maybe cash in and do more of it. That movie failed. Then again, that movie wasn't really all that great to begin with, so that could be another reason why. I mean, James Cameron has been working on this a really long time, and I understand his passion and his fire, and it's something that I really do cherish, and it's something that I really do appreciate from the man. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, I think he needs to kind of just tone it down a bit, man. I mean, it really honestly does, dude. Your movie is already going to have a lot going against it. The fact that the first movie, while good, hasn't really had the staying power that you thought it had. On top of that, you making these comments and hating on people really only adds fuel to a fire that you didn't even need in the first place. Look, movies are a tough sell. They are really hard to make. I mean, writing them and producing them and filming them and acting in them, it's not easy to make a movie, man. And nobody sets out to make a bad movie. Nobody sets out to make a movie that isn't going to be memorable or really have a lasting impact. You want it to. But honestly, it's just the luck of the draw. It really honestly is at the end of the day. And certain films are able to really have the staying power just because they have a special place in people's hearts. Nobody really expects a movie to do that. It's just something in the movie that people really find that they hold on to and they cherish. And it's just pure luck at the end of the day. Some people have it and some people don't. And James Cameron has made a lot of really great movies, man. You look at something like The Abyss, or you look at The Terminator, or you look at True Lies, or Titanic. Movies like that have had staying power for decades and generations. They really have. But then again, just because you're a successful filmmaker, just because your movie made billions of dollars at the box office, doesn't mean that automatically qualifies you to be memorable. That just means that you're successful and you're able to get more money to make the next film. That's what it means at the end of the day. So I appreciate James Cameron's energy, and I appreciate that he really has something to say and he really wants to show his creativity, but I think he's going about it the wrong way, man. I really honestly do. And it doesn't help anybody when you're going out there and you're pointing fingers at other people, because at the end of the day, they're just going to point the finger back at you. And ultimately, who suffers in the end? It's the movie. I hate to say it, it really honestly does. Good, bad, indifferent. I guess we'll find out in December, but what do you think about this? Do you think that James Cameron is right to really go after people? Or do you think that you do need to hold back, man? That, yes, art is subjective, and a filmmaker has a right to really defend the work, but at the end of the day, it is up to the audience. It is up to the moviegoers out there, and just because it's something that you did, something that you spent, over a decade really perfecting, yeah, once you put it out there to the people, it's no longer in your hands anymore, and whether it's memorable or not isn't really your choice. It's not your decision. It's up to the movie fans out there, the movie gods, so to speak. And sometimes they're on your side and sometimes they're not. But what do you think about this? Is the passion there? Do you think he really deserved to really tell off the haters? Or do you think that, dude, art is what it is? You either deal with it or you get the fuck out of the way. Definitely let me know, guys. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give it the thumbs up. For new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD out and about videos that I do, movie reviews with my friends, movie hunting, like Dollar Tree hunts, Blu-ray pickup videos, live streams, all the older content and newer stuff that is coming slowly but surely along the way. Definitely dive into all the content that is on the channel. If you like how we talk about movies and physical media, hit subscribe and become a part of the Films Fan Nation. I want to thank my really great subscribers out there. You guys are amazing and awesome. You show me so much love, and hopefully I show love right back to you. So thank you so much. Keep updated with everything I'm doing through Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Film Fan 108, keep up to date with everything I'm doing. Also, hey, if you ever want to message me, you know, have a chat with me or something, you're more than welcome to do that. I always love interacting with you guys any way, shape, or form. I always love it, man. You're more than welcome. And if you would like to send the channel any movie-related goodness, movie posters, physical media, care packages, you name it, you can do that. The P.O. Box in the description below. It is not expected, but it is definitely appreciated. And I know you guys have asked me, hey, we really want to send you some great stuff. Appreciation. Where do we do it? Well, the P.O. Box is the place to be, in the description below. I've gotten some amazing stuff from you guys, and I can't wait to see where the P.O. Box love takes me next. So I'm definitely excited about that. But I suppose that is the end of the video. It was a wild ride for physical media love this week, and hopefully more to come. I will see you guys back next week for a brand new video. Take care, everybody, and remember, happy hunting.